What's up, Jets fans? Welcome. It's the Friday night hangout. We're going to have a cool cast of characters tonight. We're going to have a fun time. I got one lunatic already waiting to join, and we'll see who else pops in. We'll be back right after this.
This is producer JR, and you are watching the proud New York Jets fan show. Now give it up for my boy Nick.
Rodgers is a f***ing Jet. Let's go!
This for my special delivery. Spit like this, get my wrist all glittery.
Can't wait.
Get kicked, snakes get slithery. Lean in, show y'all the mean and the chivalry.
Let's make sure we
Rap
play like the
Buddha.
New York Jets.
Right jab like Zab Judah. Every member on my team is a shooter. Tight like a womb, no room for intruders. Spark, twist to the Philly.
Give it up.
Good humor. Don't be silly. It's gravy, baby. I got it all smothered.
Let's go
Like
eat a
makeup.
damn snack.
Welcome. Sorry for the delay. Had to take care of a couple things. Want to say what's up to Aunt Jet, who's already here. Aunt Jet's 82. Harlan's here early as always. My man, what's up? Greeting fellow Jets fans and Nick Shine. It makes it sound like I'm not a Jet fan, Harlan, and you're just like including me with the other Jets fans. We got me here. I had to reboot the computer. Now, if we're hanging out on Friday night, you know it's going to be a good time. You know we're going to have some wild people come in. You never know who's going to pop up in the show, but you know that I am bringing the wildest, most chaotic human being that I know. I'm going to bring in my good friend, my co-host on Wednesday nights on his channel, the bald one, the egghead, the flaily arm guy, Mr. Jets Chaos. What's up, pal? Oh, we're in a new room?
Still recovering. I can't stand no internet. I'm downstairs. I can't stand this.
You look so much clearer. Like the internet is so much clearer downstairs.
Well, it's also the computer. I'm using the good computer that my wife usually gets, the Big Mac, the real Mac, the Mac Pro.
Contrary to the Big Macs that you usually consume. What's up? We got Wild Wave here. What's up, buddy? Thank you for joining. The Buffalo Jet fan. So I donated to the OnlyFans page. Thank you. The 9-Toe Wonder on OnlyFans, if you guys are interested. Also on Foot Finder. Buffalo, I sent the link. If you can join in at any time, man, more than welcome. Mess in the house.
What's up, Mess? My buddy,
Philly,
my boy.
SBC.
Philly, my boy, SBC in the house.
Everyone else saying hello to one another. What's up, guys?
I see Wild Wave, my friend.
Yeah. So, what's going on, man? Are you? We'll start off with the Jet talk, and then later on, we'll get into all the other topics that we got planned. Where are you, as a Jet fan after a loss? Are you still near the edge of the cliff? Have you jumped? Are you in midair on your way down? Have you backed up away from the edge? Have you hit Logicville? Where are you? What's your status of Jeremy, the chaotic Jets Chaos Jet fan today, right now?
It was a painful loss, and it was a damaging loss. It was the kind of loss that could really come back and haunt us later. But these kind of losses happen because we're not a Super Bowl team. We're a team hoping to make the playoffs, and there are plenty of teams who scrape into the playoffs who have had bad losses during the year. The Chargers aren't as awful as people are acting. I mean, they do have a pretty great quarterback who we shut down. They're probably going to make a run at the playoffs. They're not as bad as people are acting like. Now, I'm not happy with the last 2 weeks. You know, with the Giants win was like this scrape of a miracle.
Yeah.
But the reality is, and Greenbeat said it really well yesterday, is we've won 3 out of our last 4 games. We've won 3 out of our last 4. And if we win against the Raiders, which is a very winnable game, we'll have won 4 out of the last 5. And we'll say, well, we weren't able to win all 3, Giants, Chargers, Raiders, like we were hoping. But that's not slice your wrist end of the world because you weren't able to win 3 more football games in a row. and maintain a 6-game winning streak, because we don't have Aaron Rodgers and we're not a Super Bowl type team and we're not a team that you'd expect to be able to do that. So I'm not going to jump off of a cliff. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to
Damn it. Way to ruin my night already. We're 5 minutes into the show and I'm already disappointed.
I'm going to acknowledge our problem. Our problem is our offense has been horrendously bad. We have a huge problem, and it's going to be hard to make the playoffs if something doesn't happen. I don't know if it's Dwayne Brown coming back and moving people around and getting a stable offensive line. It doesn't feel like it, but I mean, at this point, maybe him healthy is better than what we got. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we need some stability. It's what you said. When we had one offensive line for 3 straight weeks, we were pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill these.
So I want to bring up a comment because it's the perfect comment to bring in our next guest here. Matthias checking in. What's up, Matthias? Matthias, you got to give me admin or moderator status on your greenhouse. That way my posts go up right away because I'm going to be sharing in your group a lot. And this way, if you're busy, sleeping, occupied, I don't have to wait for you to clear me. So if you don't know how to do that, DM me and I'll if you're okay with it, obviously. I'm not telling you what to do, but just a suggestion. But this comment, like what, pizza? If we're talking about pizza, there's only one place in the world besides Jeremy's mouth where you think of when it comes to pizza. It's not all the other I countries, Jeremy, that I know you're thinking of. It's not Iceland. It's not Indonesia. It's not Ireland. It's not Israel.
Israel.
Sorry. Forgive me. It's Italy. We got to bring it in the Italy jet. We can't bring up pizza without bringing in the Goomba.
How's it going, my friend? How you guys doing?
Why are hearts popping up when you do that?
Yeah, yeah.
What the hell was that?
Yeah, that was interesting.
Because I'm special.
Is that a thing?
Not for you.
Well, is it on your laptop, Jeremy, or is this your computer?
It is the new operating system for the Mac.
Oh, then that's why. There you go. That's why. See, then there goes the thing. Yeah, I see it now.
I hate when he has nice things and I don't. How you doing, pal?
Doing good. Long week, but I'm happy it's Friday. I'm happy that there's going to be a Jets game on Sunday. Whatever happens. But I am happy to be here. I've missed you guys. You guys doing good?
Yeah. I want to throw it to you. No one cares how Jeremy is, so I'm just going to throw it to you. And I asked him the question, so I'll ask you.
Okie dokie.
We're a couple days after the loss, and we know that Jets Twitter, Jets fans are eccentric, overreactive. Give me the state of Italy Jet fan today, a couple days after the loss, 2 days before the game. Where are you? Are you on the cliff? Have you jumped? Have you backed up? Are you in Logicville? Are you still in Overreactville? Are you hitting the panic button? Are you on the bat phone? Where is Italy Jet right now as a Jet fan mentally?
I mean, we're Jets fans. There's 5 degrees of this, right? There's 5 degrees of everything when it comes to being a Jets fan. For me, I'm still like, okay, all right, so we lost. Our offense has got to figure some stuff out, but we have a great elite defense. Special teams, I'm like, okay, just fix that one thing. And I'm like, all right, we're going to be fine again. I'm never off a cliff. I will never, ever be off a cliff. That's not what I'm made of. Agreed. Always about the next game. Always about the next man up. But if you're near
the edge and you see chaos, just a little shove. Do the world favor. little nudge.
This one or a specific app?
Make it look incidental, but a little, hey, pal, get to oh, my bad.
You know what he's made of, right? He's made of white wine and marinara, baby.
No, I'm not. I'm not off a cliff yet. I'm still good. Just it's going to be an ugly game, right? But I still think there's still hope. I'm still here. I'm still here. I don't know what you guys think, but I'm still I still have a little bit of positive going into it. I'm a glass full guy, see positives and negatives, and that's the state I'm at right now, Nick.
All right. All right. I got a message from O'Leary. They're on date night. He doesn't know if he's going to be able to make it. So he texted me. I sent him my number and he texted me. I was like, all right, cool. I got your number. Foot picks coming in hot.
Did Chaos send you some yet? Chaos send you some yet?
No. I was sending them out with when Tomageddon happened. If anybody who talks bad about the Jets like this summer, like I would DM them, or if they had an iPhone, I'd text them, and when I see them typing, I would be like, pew, have it pop in. That way I know they see it. They're like, dude, what the fuck was that? I was like, that's how it looks right now. It isn't closed yet. But
I got a question. I had a question. Nick, you asked me that same question, but Chaos and Nick, I don't know if you guys already touched on it. Are you guys off the cliff yet?
I'm never on the cliff. I am always positive.
Same.
You know that.
Same.
I'm always let's find a way. I believe they can do it. I believe in what we have.
Up.
I'm logical. It's the only thing in my life that I'm optimistic and logical about is the New York Jets, and they have given me absolutely zero fucking reason to be that way. Right? Yeah. Like we're not a winning franchise. We don't constantly hit on our picks. We don't bring the right free agents in. We don't make the right play calls. We get injured. But I'm always a believer. Like it's just, I'll be real. I've said it before. I have so much negativity in my life. I have so many bad decisions that I've made in my life. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be down and out on my favorite hobby.
Yeah.
Right. This is like a release from the world, and the real world sucks for me at most of the time. Yeah. So to come to football, to come to sports, I want to enjoy it. That's why I hate the negativity. That's why you see me roasting it on Twitter, like with the bad takes and like calling people out. Like, and here's my assessment of why people go ballistic. Mm-hmm. They put so much stock in their opinions and their takes that when the team doesn't back up what they thought, they get angry and they lash out. And then you see people attacking players and fire everyone. How about you just look in the mirror, do a little bit of self-assessing and say, all right, I was fucking wrong. But you can't get that on Twitter.
No, Twitter is this is how I describe Jets fans. I describe Jets fans crazy because we're good crazy and we're a bad crazy. That's what it is. Half glass full, you're good crazy because you're into it. You love the passion, even at the stadium, even on social media. And then there's the bad crazy where people just every week, there's always something with social media, fan base, anything.
I'm going to summarize it with an outstanding Nick analogy. And we haven't had a good Nick analogy in a very long time, but I'm going to nail perfectly what Jets fans are. Jets fans are like dating a super hot bipolar chick. When things are good, you're going to get the greatest sex of your life. When things go slightly wrong, she's burning your car in the parking lot.
She'll burn all your clothes.
Being a Jet fan summarized to a T. Am I
Chaos,
wrong?
What you thinking, man? What are you thinking? I agree with you, Nick.
Yeah, man. I just think we've had. It just seems it's crazy that it happens year after year, and it seems like it's been over 40 years of it. But I just feel like we have this incredibly bad dark cloud that we have a lot of trouble getting rid of. I mean,
right.
We've lost 5 offensive linemen. I mean, just like last year, and people
in the year before.
People just keep forgetting that. They're acting like, I mean, if you go to any NFL team on paper, look at their roster, look at their team, cross out 5 offensive linemen. They start 5 starters from when they start the season, right, or whatever it is, 5 out of this, and then take away their starting quarterback. Mm-hmm. And what's your expectation for that team?
Yeah, but it's always something though with us. It's always something. Injuries, always.
Yeah, and it's like people saying, "Oh, you're making excuses." I mean, but
it's no excuse. It's reality right now.
It's reality. I mean, if you take away I mean, Buffalo Bills are struggling anyway. Can you imagine if you took out Josh Allen and 5 of their offensive linemen? Can
They
you
might get better.
imagine what would
And
happen
they
to
might get
Buffalo?
better.
They would be brutal. They can't even handle losing a couple of guys on defense. They lost Milano and the other guy, and they're dying.
Facts. Yeah,
Can you
Milano.
imagine if they
and
lost
White,
their
yeah.
5 offensive linemen and Josh Allen? They would be
Mhm.
freaking under 500 right now. So, I mean, what are we
Very
talking
true.
about? Everybody keeps forgetting that. We lost their starting quarterback and our entire offensive line. It's crazy.
That's my
I agree.
relationship with Zach Wilson.
I mean, that's
Oh,
everyone's
your
relationship with
buddy's
Zach Wilson.
here. Your buddy's here. Both of
Hey,
you
it was
met
good to
Nicky.
meet you at the game, Junior Nick. Good to
Hmm.
see you.
We should have had Nicky stay with Jeremy to lead him out to the car. Speaking of the black cloud that hangs over the Jets fans,
What's up?
Johnny brings up a very good point.
Oh, can I say one thing to your son?
Was that black cloud
Can I
over
say-
the
can I
J9
say-
sign that you couldn't find it?
Wait, one sec. I want to say one thing to your son. Hey, Junior. Hey, Nick Junior. You got very nice eyes. Don't tell my wife. Okay. Yo, Chaos. I heard you got lost in John. I didn't get lost in lot J. I got lost in lot F.
Mm,
J was a very short time of it. It was only that
To
was
quote, to
fifth of
quote
the.
Dave Chappelle,
Oh.
Jeremy got lost with the alphabet people. He got lost in L, B, G, T, Q, I, A. He got lost in every lot.
oh man.
I thought I was going the right way. I thought I was going the right way. He goes, "Where are you walking?" I go, "I'm walking towards the big white Meadowlands sign." And Nick goes, "You're walking towards the raceway."
I had to call him back because I'm on the phone. I'm like, what
Oh my
white
God.
Meadowlands sign? And then when I hang up, I look up and I see Meadowlands for the racetrack. I go, Jesus Christ, he's 2 miles away. I'm like, turn around, you idiot.
Yeah, it took like a half hour to get to you too, Nick.
Yeah, but you know what? When the lot first opened and the stadium opened and
Yeah.
they redid the lot, my buddy James, who was cooking the hibachi at the tailgate
Right.
this past week, he had a Winnebago.
Okay.
And the Winnebago, you know how we're back up on the corner?
Yeah.
They let him take the Winnebago into that lot. He was the only Winnebago allowed in that lot because there's a special lot for those. Because he was able to back it up into one spot and only take up one spot. So we've always tailgated there. And then he just got rid of the Winnebago before last season because he's like, we're not getting a lot out of it. So,
It's amazing.
Jeremy, Nikki's got a question for you. You got bananas?
That's what she
Horrible.
said. I don't. It's amazing. You think based on my people, I'd be able to make it across the parking lot. I mean, they made it across the freaking desert.
Nice. You were almost walking for 40 days and 40 nights too, my friend.
I wasn't good. All I had was my bottle of Coke.
Yeah. Did you hear this, Italy? Why he didn't come out of the state? Me and Nikki were calling him and was like, hey, we're coming out. Let's meet by the 50-yard line.
I didn't
Straight
hear
walk
this
out. And he's like, oh, I got to go to Dom C's car first. I got to go get my Coke. And I hang up. I'm walking and I'm like, I thought he said his coat. And then I'm like,
Oh.
he had his coat on when he went in.
Yeah.
Is this for fucking soda?
I was so thirsty.
Man. Get that dopamine. Get that caffeine.
Chris, I get it, man. I get your comment, and thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. It's tough being a Jet fan, no doubt, but
yeah, but
I just that's my way, and everyone's got their ways, right? People throw the remote. My buddy used to throw his hat. That was his thing.
Right.
If we were at a bar, we were at a house party, he'd launch the hat when he got mad, and we would just wait for the hat throw. Everyone's got their own way. Now that I'm older and calmer, and I'm not drinking during the games, I get quiet. Like Nikki knows. Nikki watches with me. Like if it's a close game, I'll be really intense. The Giant game I was alone for, and I said it felt like a funeral in the third and fourth quarter. And then it was dark, it was gloomy, and then all of a sudden it's like the Jets were the person you were at the funeral for, and in the last 24 seconds they rose up like the Undertaker, and you're like, oh shit, he's alive. But it was very somber, and I'm like, I'm doing a checklist in my head during that game of all right, I can't talk to this person, I'm not replying to that text, I'm not going on this this Facebook group. Like I was doing
Right.
my like silence and muting like in my brain of who I was ignoring. So it's you know, we've been, besides from the Cowboy game, with Zach Wilson for 8 games, we've been in 6 out of 8. Win or lose, we've been in 6 out of 8, right?
Hmm.
That's better than anybody thought. We thought the season was a complete wrap and a complete wash. So being in and having a chance to win 75% of the games with Zach Wilson at quarterback, I think there's a positive in that, because if you can somehow take 2 of the next 3 with the Raiders, at the Bills, and Miami, if you could take 2 of those 3 and go 2-2 in November, which is the toughest part of our schedule, in my opinion, with going to Buffalo and then Miami coming in, or remaining schedule, I should say, after the bye, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge, because then you got Atlanta, Washington. You can get 4 out of the next 5 potentially, right? And be in a really good position with Rodgers amping it up right around Thanksgiving is the story, that he's gonna
Yeah.
be able to start doing training like late November. What's your thoughts, Italy? What's your thoughts with where we could be looking ahead?
I still think we got a chance overall.
Agreed.
It doesn't matter if Rodgers are here or Zach Wilson. Injuries are always going to be a problem in the NFL. No one knows that other than the Ravens and us. Ravens lost all their running backs one year, and boom, they got a whole new ones. They still did just fine. With us, it's always been the story of offensive line injuries.
Yeah.
I've always been the mentality of next man up. Yes, we got to fix some things. That's that duh. Like everyone can see that on offense. It's not just Zach's fault. It's a whole other problem. It's Hackett. It's the offensive line not getting the running game going, him being in the pocket too much, holding the ball too much, and people aren't catching the ball. And with the penalties as well. I still think if we could correct those, I still think we got a chance later on. I do think it's going to be an ugly game on Sunday, but I still think that we're going to win. I really do think
Agreed.
that we're going to win.
Agree. I think we're going to feast on a rookie quarterback. I think you're going to
We
see
do.
a lot of junk thrown out. We're not going to just do our
love you,
4-man
man.
rush. I think you're going to see a lot of shit on the back end with hiding coverages and trying to confuse him. And this is a game
Yeah.
where we got to pick off a couple passes. It's wild
Yeah,
that
agreed.
in 8 games, the only 3 games we've had interceptions in are against the 3 best quarterbacks we played:
Yeah.
Mahomes, Hurts, and Allen.
Yeah.
We didn't pick off. Well, the Giants didn't throw.
And
We
Nick,
didn't
I'm not
pick up,
afraid
though.
of Aiden O'Connell. I'm sorry. I'm
No.
not afraid of him.
No, he's
He-
going to shit his pants on national television. He's going to pull Paul Pierce.
why I love
Johnny,
him.
you got Jeremy all excited with this comment because he wants to win a bagel. Now he's hungry.
There you go. I mean, there you go, right?
I got something for Italy.
Oh no, what you got?
Love you,
Uh-oh.
man.
Uh-oh.
How you doing?
Ah, it's awesome.
How you
It's-
doing?
I love it. I love it. Oh man, that's dope. So you were in Brooklyn, right? Is that where you were in Brooklyn this past week, correct?
The last day of the trip, before I went to the airport, I was in Brooklyn for 2 hours, 3 hours, driving around with my friend.
Okay. Damn, I'm so jealous. Are you going to the Vegas game or no? You're not going to make that?
Nah, I thought I had tickets, like maybe a club suite kind of thing, but it
Yeah.
fell through.
Gotcha. Listen, I think this defense is gonna shut down Adams, but I really do think they're gonna focus more on Jacobs. I think the Raiders are gonna focus more on Jacobs. They've been getting Renfro in a little bit. I get that. And Jacoby, they're always bringing Jacoby, but I think they're really gonna focus on Jacobs. And I think we're gonna shut down Adams. He'll get his a little bit of a touches, but overall, I think that offensive line is not ready for our defensive line. And we're pretty healthy for the most part on the defensive line. I know McDonald's is questionable, but I just think that this is going to be different Sunday night. I think it's going to be different. What do you think, Chaos?
I hope it's going to be different.
He's like, I hope so.
I have a feeling. I have this feeling, and I've had it.
Okay.
I've been wrong, but I mean, I do.
Yeah, it's
think,
okay.
I do think that they're going to come out and look better on offense. I'm not saying they're going to put up tons of points and go crazy scoring touchdowns,
Okay.
but what I think that it's either going to be your 16-13, barely a touchdown kind of game, or it's not going to be like, oh, Jets 20-3, because this is what I see happening.
No, I
The
can't
Jets
see it.
the Jets have the kind of defense that if we ever get a lead, like, so if we get up 13-3 and it gets into the third quarter, what I think is going to start happening is they're going to be forced to pass more and open it up for our defensive line. They're going to make mistakes. That's when we're going to see us start forcing turnovers on, and that's when we're going to see us be able to get some defensive spark, some momentum, and suddenly we're up 27-3. So with that kind of team, we just haven't seen it because we don't get the leads to create that situation. But I think we have the kind of defense where if we could just get ahead early by something, we can create that kind of game. We just need to, and I feel like that's what's going to happen. I feel like they're going to pull things out of their ass. They're going to find a way to get us into the end zone. We're going to get up on them by 10 points or something. And then we're going to, in the third to fourth quarter, expand it. And I think we're going to have a big win.
Did you have anything to do with them putting things in their ass? Serious follow-up question.
No.
Okay. I mean, how do you know it's there? Yeah, looking ahead at this game, you got to beat the shit out of them. They're without Colton Miller, their best lineman. He's out. JJ and Huff got a feast. I expect a very large dose of Josh Jacobs. I expect them doing what other teams have done against us. Run the ball. If you got to punt, and let your defense stop the Jet offense. That's the blueprint on how to beat us. Eventually, somebody will get a short field, a fumble, a punt return. They think that, all right, we'll play the game of field position with them. You're going to see a ton of punts again. That's my opinion. But the defense got to give us a short field. Sacks, safety. You got Morstead indoors, so he should be able to put the ball wherever he wants to put it. We just got to make a play. We got to get a punch out of the ball and a scoop fumble. We take back. Like Jeremy said, find a way to get the goddamn lead. Get the lead, and then this defense can just go bonkers. And I mean, you guys, I'm sure you both saw the stat. For those that haven't seen it, the chart came out. The Jets have the highest pressure rate in football and the second lowest blitz percentage. So that means 3 or 4 guys are getting home all the time. We are the best in football. For everybody who asked, why'd we take another D lineman? Why'd we take another D lineman? Why'd we take another D lineman? Because if Aaron Rodgers was playing with this defense, we'd be 7-1. We probably would have lost the Cowboy game still, because that was the day our defense wasn't there. But who knows? The game gets coached differently. The game planning's differently when you have Rodgers, right? So they may have done things differently, and we would have.
Right.
It was actually, we kept it a game because we were holding them and we were bending, not breaking through the first half. So if we had Rodgers and scored a touchdown, or whatever, it could have, then you change the psyche of the game. And then when you come into that second half, it's a different football game. But, we couldn't score. We couldn't move the ball. So we eventually broke. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying we would have won the game, but I think that it's not crazy to say we didn't have a shot at winning that game if we had Rodgers, because it would have been a different game.
Different game plan, too.
Yeah, different game plan, but also just if we score a touchdown during that first half, it was close. We were keeping it a game. So then you go into the second half, and it's a totally different situation. And that changes the psyche, and it changes their ability to just blitz on us. The fourth quarter with the pressing and throwing the picks never happens. It changes everything.
Do you guys think we're going to get an interception this game? 1, 2, maybe. What do you guys think?
We're
I
going to get
say-
a couple turnovers.
I
I
say
don't know if it's going to be an
two
interception. Could be a sack, fumble.
Okay.
I think we're going to force
Well,
3 turnovers.
I
Three
think we're too
turnovers.
aggressive not
Okay.
to have another game without it. I don't know if it's going to be a clean pick, one that kind of hits the elbow, ball pops up in the
Yeah.
air. That's the part that sucks. It's the only part that
Yeah.
sucks about sending 4 is there's one less guy
Right.
around. So that when you do pop the
Right.
ball up,
Yeah.
it's a couple times
Yeah.
this year we've had him hit the ground, right?
It always, yeah.
We just
But-
need to have our whole defense hold up pictures of Nick Shine right before they snap the ball. Believe me, they'll turn it over.
So,
I think for me, I like Jeremy's 3 because I think it's going to be 3. I think Quincy Williams is going to force a fumble and we get it. I think Huff is going to force a fumble and we get it. And I truly do believe that I think this is the game where Sauce will get an interception.
Wow.
It's a big one, but I haven't said that before. So this is my first time saying it. I feel it in my gut.
all right.
Feel it in my gut.
I'm not against it. I'm very curious since you brought Sauce up. Let's get into
What's
that.
up? What's up?
He's got the size, he's got the length. I know DJ Reed
Yeah.
is very good. I
Right.
feel better. Sauce is a horrible tackler. Like he's a
Well,
bad
he's-
tackler, right?
He's shown it. He's shown it.
Yeah.
Matthias.
He's proven my point. He's very, very soft when it comes on tackling. Do you let him follow Adams when you're in man? Do you let him? Do you say, "Hey, Sauce, go be what we need you to be"? And do you let like Reed deal with Renfro or and Gaffney? Right, Gaffney is there, or is
it
the other one?
Myers? Are you talking about
Myers.
Myers?
I
You're
get-
talking Myers? Yeah.
I get all the Patriot wide receivers who didn't do anything there confused. They're all like clustered in my head. You know, you got, I think, Sauce on Adams, Reed on Myers, and Carter on Renfro. Man, I have a yearning to see more man-to-man with those guys playing them.
I mean, I think the key to stopping Adams, because he's a special kind of player. I think
Right.
first of all, you have to help Sauce with a safety if it's going to be man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Whitehead
you just
or
have
Adams.
to,
Yeah.
you have to. But
Yeah.
I think, but the key to the success or the lack of success is going to be what our defense is always predicated on, and that's pressuring the quarterback. They got a rookie quarterback, and if we put a lot of pressure on him, it's going to be very difficult for Davante Adams to make a difference in the game because you're certainly not going to beat Sauce off the line of scrimmage right from the start. Right. So if we get in there fast and put him under pressure, it eliminates Davante Adams that way. And it makes Sauce's job a lot easier. If we don't get to the quarterback and we give that kid too much breathing space, I don't care if it's Sauce Gardner. Davante Adams is a special kind of talent. He's you're not gonna beat him every time. He's gonna get open.
And he creates a lot of separation. When he burns you, he's just gone and he's wide open. And when it comes to Adams, I kind of feel that whoever we put on him, whether it's going to be Gardner or Reed, it's going to create open opportunities for Myers because they've been going to Myers a little bit more lately. So, if O'Connell is going to throw, I just think the linebackers are going to play a little bit more of a role to help out the corners too, especially with Quincy and Mosley and how much speed that they have right now. And we can't forget about Carter. Carter could even get an interception or force a fumble. Yeah. So anything could happen with this defense right now against the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the Raiders game log. I mean, with O'Connell last week, he's 16 of 25 for 209, and it's kind of spread out all over the place. 2 to Tucker for 52 yards, 2 to Myers for 38, 4 for Adams for 34, Renfro 2 for 32. Abdullah had 2 for 17, Carter 1. I mean, good averages. 16 passes, 16 completions, 209 yards. They're getting 12, 13 yards a completion. But I think that if you go man, and then you drop the linebackers into those quick passing lanes, and you block up the quick slants, and then you cover for the outs. Send the fucking house, man. Send everyone. We'll get there, and it's gonna be. I think we can feast. Remember the Carolina preseason game where Huff and JJ were just dominating, and it's like who could get their quarterback first because they were going up. They were backups at the time, right? So they were playing against backups. I think you're going to see that. I think Huff and JJ are going to be racing to see who can get to the quarterback first on passing downs. And, I just think you're going to see a 7-8 sack game. You're going to see some turnovers. You're going to see a lot of pressure. I just hope our offensive line does enough that we can capitalize and we don't get our dicks kicked in because we can't block. Crosby's a game wrecker, but we got our game wreckers too. We have multiple.
Yeah.
How long do you have? Gina, how long do you have?
I got 6 more minutes.
All right. Then I'm going to throw out to you on the Friday night hangout.
All right.
For those that are new or didn't know, on the Friday night hangout, it's less of a produced show. And we got into some musical conversation last time. So one of the topics, we talked about music. So I wanted to bring up, and we'll do yours now since you got to bounce. And you're welcome to join later when you get home. I don't know if you guys got plans, but you know how we hang out. If you want, you got the link. But give me your top 5 television dramas.
Television dramas.
You can't do like Married with Children or The Office compared to like Sopranos. Like, give me your good drama shows, your action, your hour-long series.
Well, I love Sopranos. I mean, can't go wrong with that. I can't go wrong with that. I'm really huge in like Happy Days, Cheers, Growing Pains.
No, not sitcoms. Not sitcoms.
Oh, sorry.
Give me the dramas. Give me the top 5 like dramas.
I don't think I can do that.
Oh, really?
I like a lot of stuff. I don't know if I can do that.
All right.
Fail.
All right. All right.
My bad. So Sopranos got to be up there though for me.
Oh, I figured that.
What about you? What about you, Chaos? Sorry, Nick.
Well, Sopranos. I'm not gonna. I don't know the order yet. I haven't had time to really work that out. But like Sopranos is in the top 5. Might even be number 1. I got to think about it. But Sopranos is definitely there in the top 5, 100%. Handmaid's Tale. I think I gotta put in there that show, man. Jeez, me and my wife were so addicted to that show. The early seasons of Walking Dead.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. 6 Feet Under. It was an HBO show that was amazing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Boardwalk Empire or Dexter, and I don't know because Dexter. There's some great.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
great.
Well, I think I can give you a little bit more now. What Blacklist, NCIS? I like those.
Yeah,
So
Blacklist. I'm down to I'm waiting for the next season to come out on Netflix, and it's going to be a while, right? Because now with the writer's strike, nothing new is coming out.
I mean, I love that Netflix show with Millie Bobby Brown, Stranger Things. Stranger Things, and then Resident Alien. That's a good one from Sci-Fi.
Oh yeah.
NCIS. I said that. Blacklist. Oh, I love Sylvester Stallone's newest one on Paramount Plus.
I've seen the promos for it during the CBS games.
Really? What? I didn't know about that.
Yeah, it's gonna go into its 2nd season. It's a mafia. It's a mafia movie, of course. I wonder if any. Yep, Tulsa King, Billy CBS down here. SBC, Tulsa King. It's a good one.
Johnny, give me a little bit. I'll send you the link in a little bit. I got you.
I didn't say 6 feet under. I said 6 feet here. I said 6 feet under. Mess.
Anybody like Bones? Anyone like Bones at all?
We know Jeremy does. Hey
Dog
now.
bones. That's a good one.
Hey, you want a couple
I
bones,
haven't, I
buddy?
haven't watched it. I gotta watch it. Oh, you know
Bones
what?
is a good one.
I didn't say Suits, Nick. I can't believe you let me get.
Oh, okay. My
Yeah.
wife loves Suits. Loves
Yeah.
Suits.
I'm gonna wait for later. I'm gonna wait for later on to give my. I just want to ask everybody as they come in.
Let's
But
see. Yeah, I think that's it for now.
all right.
I like a bunch of things. Like I don't usually focus on one. So like I always bounce around like Four Horses. I don't know if everyone heard that on Apple Plus. It's an
Did you
English
see the
show.
last? You see the last one of Johnny's?
Oh, is this
Thundercats.
him or is he talking about me? Probably.
Thundercats. Thundercats was so good
Oh,
as a kid.
Band of
The
Brothers.
Wonder Years is good.
Band of Brothers.
Boy Meets World.
Oh,
Don't
Johnny,
watch the reboot.
that's why
Don't watch
I'm
the
doing.
reboot.
That's why we're doing dramas, because then sitcoms and then cartoons. Like I got the next three tonight, and the next two shows are gonna be television related.
Oh, Scooby Doo.
But I had to break them up into categories because, like I said, I can't put The Office compared to Oz. You know?
Yeah. Scooby Doo. I like Scooby Doo for cartoon. That was mine.
Ruggy.
Zoink Scoobs.
Zoinks.
Oh, my neck! I slept the wrong way, man. I wish I had a masseuse here.
Oh,
I
the
gotta
Wire.
call.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh,
I
The
gotta call
Wire.
Deshaun
Wire was
Watson.
Rome.
See if Deshaun Watson can send me somebody.
The Wire was great. What a great series that was.
But before I bounce, I think we're gonna win 13-7 Jets on Sunday Night Football.
Ooh.
Hopefully victory Monday on Monday. I already said stuff about the defense and offense. I think Brees Hall is gonna score a touchdown. And I don't know after that. I have no idea after that. That's why I said 13-7. But I think Jacobs is gonna get a touchdown on the Raiders side. And yeah. Boom.
I like it.
Hmm.
I like it. Listen, we're gonna have to. This defense is gonna have to play like the '85 Bears. They are going to have to really. The only thing they're missing right now, they're number 2 in passing after the last 2 weeks, only behind the Browns. Browns have the Bengals this week, or the Browns have the Ravens this week. We're going against O'Connell, so maybe we make a move and we're the number 1 pass defense in a couple days. We got to do a better job with the run. Josh Jacobs, we can't let him go for 115 or above the 100-yard mark. We got to keep him in the 60s or 70s, and I think it's possible. Like, as long as we don't turn the ball over and give the other team a short field or give them the ball in field goal range, I think we'll win.
Nice. I like it.
I do. I think we'll see a game that we haven't seen yet. I think we're going to see the Jets get a lead, play with a 10-0, and then it's going to be fun. You're going to see what this defense does with a lead, which is what we were supposed to do the entire season.
I like it.
So,
I like it. I like it.
all right,
Good
man.
stuff.
Thank you for hanging. Good luck getting wifey. And like I said, if you get the hall pass, feel free to jump back on later. You got the link.
Definitely. I appreciate everyone in the chat. Hope you guys have a great Friday. Have a good weekend, Chaos.
Oh my God.
Hey, love you guys. Miss you guys. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Peace.
Wait, Jim, before you go, I wonder if he just puts his hands up to his mouth, if like little hot dogs appear too.
Zoinks.
Oh, come on, Apple. Come on, Apple. I need a new upgrade. Add that. Later, pal. Thank you.
I wonder if it does a wave. See if anything happens for a wave.
Blow a kiss. Blow a kiss. See if like.
No, I think it's something to do with like holding. You have to hold whatever it is. It has to be straight. Let's see. If
Hey now. Yeah, if you're holding it like that, it'll get
see if a
straight.
little vagina comes onto the screen.
Nice.
But binoculars. See if anything happens. Nah, very limited. Very limited.
Boom, boom, boom. So, all right. Well, think of your 5. Well, we're gonna get back to that in a little bit. We'll jump in and out of that as we go on. But I know it's the easy answer, Josh Jacobs and the run game. anything that you're concerned about outside of Adams and Jacobs? Like, I think we're going to fixate on them. Like, Renfro hasn't been much. Go
I
ahead.
mean, look, if we come and play our best game, I'm not worried about anything on the offense. I mean, yeah, Devontae Adams, they have a good player, but and they have good players. I'm not really worried about that. That's not, I mean, because I'm worried about Max Crosby. You know what I mean? I'm worried about our offense punting the ball 10 times on Sunday. 12 times. That's what I'm worried about. Like, yeah, they might score some. They might make some big plays. They have some good players, but unless we come out and throw up, unless we come out our defense and put up a stinker, I mean, we just made Justin Herbert look like a college quarterback. Our defense is for real. So I don't worry about it now. I know that's our strength. I know that nobody's going to be running up and down the field on us. And whether they score 3 points or 16 points or 17 points, we just need to score 20 or more points like a normal offense, and we're going to win every game. So to me, that's my worry. It's like, can we stop Crosby? Can we move the ball? And can we just put up some points and just win? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I saw Todd here before. What's up, Todd? Harlan, Johnny, Harlan, Matthias still hanging out. Italy Jet hopping in the chat. I think if we don't win this game, something crazy happened. A punt return, a kickoff return, even though Zerline puts them all in the end zone. It's going to be something out of the norm. It's not going to be them lining up, driving down the field, and scoring on us multiple times. So as long as we keep the craziness from happening, I think we're really, really in a good position to go in there and get a W. And it sounds like this is a good place to go, right? If you're booking a road trip, it sounds like there's going to be, a large contingency of Jets fans. Like Kansas City fans booked the Jet game, Sunday Night Football, Rodgers, Mahomes, right? When the schedule came out, you're like, holy shit, they put that game on Sunday night. That's a game that you planned for. That's a game you looked at the schedule and said, if you're one of those people that go to away games, you looked at that Jet Chief game and said, I got to get to that. I think Jets fans looked at Vegas and were like, we got to get to that. So I think it's going to be surprisingly how in favor it is for the crowd is for the Jets on Sunday night. I want to see our coach. You know I'm a big fan of Saleh, and I'm not very critical of him. I like his demeanor. I like how he handles the media. I like that he doesn't give out too much information and that he plays things close to the vest with the media. I think his, Rex's bravado wore thin. I think somebody who's level-headed, balanced, and calculated like Saleh is well-suited here for New York. But now you're getting into the point where now in year 3, I want to see you during the game, if you have to, let a player know he's fucking up. Like, I'll bring up again Garrett Wilson the other night, right? Garrett Wilson was getting held back by a referee, and nobody pulled him out of the game. And then he commits a costly penalty on the next play, taking a cheap shot at, I think it was Samuel, number 26. You can't let that stuff happen because that stuff snowballs, right?
Yeah.
You can't. You gotta put your fist down. You gotta put your foot down. You gotta let a guy know. It's not how we're gonna operate here. Get your cool together or get the hell out of the game. So when whatever way it presents itself, whether sometimes it's enough behind closed doors, right? But in the heat of the moment, I have no problem with our head coach showing I'm the goddamn leader here. Don't fuck up. Don't do this. It will not be accepted. We don't have to worry about catering to players' feelings in football. Be assertive. Let them know that it's your squad. Show the fans, the media, the other players that this is my goddamn team. You know what I mean? I know he's always like, it's our team. Bro, you're the head goddamn coach. Anything that goes wrong with that team, performance-wise, player-wise, play call-wise, is on your shoulders. So that's just I want to see that instead of yelling at the refs, yell at a goddamn player like that for once. You know what I mean? Let them know that failure is not acceptable. Being emotionally detached from the game and your job because you're in your feelings is not acceptable. So that's those are my thoughts on something I'd like to see that we haven't seen. Snowball twist. I know Snowball was on with Porto and Gino, Italy, the other night after our show. I hopped on there with them a little bit, and Snowball was one of the guests on there. And I suck with names, and I knew his face, and I saw Snowball. I was like, "Oh, it's Snowball," and he's like, "Yeah." He said, "We met last year at the roller coaster." I was like, "Oh man," I'm like, "I met a lot of people, but as soon as I saw your face, I knew I had met you." That was him and his son reaching out to you in the parking lot. That you walked in front of them, and he's like, "Crevette, it's you."
It was ridiculous. It was amazing. Like, can you imagine? There's like cars lined up. I'm walking on the road. I have to cross through merging traffic, and I walk by the car. I cut off a car, walk by it. The horn, chaos, and I turn. What are you doing? He said, "What are you doing?" There's nobody out there. It was all cars driving. Nobody was out that far. They were like, "What are you doing out here?"
Good point, Wild Wave. Good point. You want to be a leader on this team? You can't. And Brees had a 19-yard run taken away from him, man. That goes from a underperforming day to a quality day for a running back. You get a 20-yard run taken away from you because you're in your feelings. I'm glad he said something.
Yeah.
I want to see guys speaking up. You know, the defense is in check. The defense is on point week after week. They had a punt return. They had a punt return taken back that wasn't their fault. There was a fumble recovery that went back to the 1 foot line. So there's 14 points there. Head coach takes a stupid timeout on a 3rd down with 1:14 left in the first half. They end up converting and turning that into a field goal. So there's 17 points that like shouldn't have happened. You know, we should. And then CJ drops it. If all goes right and these stupid plays don't happen, we're in another ugly game to win it. Oh, we got somebody else here.
It's amazing how you could turn a game around, with a couple of stupid plays. It's not like the score doesn't reflect the way it was. It's like if we could erase some of the stupid plays, it was like it would have been a different football game. It's so frustrating.
Yeah. But that shows where we are offensively. We do not have the skill set or the capability under the current setup to overcome failures like that.
Right.
Our defense and special teams have to be number 1 in the league and play like that in order for us to have a chance in a game. We're going to have to win some. Every game we win is going to be a fight in a phone booth. Mm-hmm. That's the way it is. You good? All right. Next up, you want to talk Jets. You got to do it with this guy. You want to talk children. You got to do it with this guy. You want to talk to Tigo. What's up, buddy?
Hello, friends.
I like the wave. Hello.
What's going on?
Hello, mate. How are you?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, how's the evening going?
How's the little ones?
Just put them. Well, I had the first one down like an hour and a half ago, and we just got the second one down now.
Jeez.
I can't wait for the day where they're partners in crime together, running around the house.
Oh, me too.
And then as you're doing a stream, the 2 lightsabers lift up in the back, and they start like fighting with them, like middle of you doing a show.
I can't wait for Tigo to say to them when he puts them to bed one day, the 2 of them, and he goes, "Now I don't want to hear a peep," and he walks out, and it's silence for like 2 minutes, and then you hear peep.
They will have separate rooms. It's already a problem because like the older one, he's barely barely a year old, right? It's like a little over a year old. But he loves his brother so much. He yells at us if his brother is like whining or complaining or anything like that. He'll run up to us and be like, "Can you please? He's not happy. Can you fix this now?" And then like when he's having his bottle, like he understands the point now. Like you can like point at things. So he'll come up to his little brother and point and smile and be like, "This my little brother. I love him." And yeah,
That's dope.
That's great.
Nice. You two chat it up. I gotta get my other phone wire. This wire isn't charging for some reason. I'll be right back.
but that, and then the little one, he's about to be 3 months old in a couple of weeks. Whenever he hears his brother, because like his brother, the older one, doesn't shut up.
Mhm.
He is my son. Doesn't shut up. He just da 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 the whole time. It's great. I love it. But whenever he hears him like around, the smile that he gets, just gummy, toothless, just amazing little. I love it.
That's great. That's great. Because I mean, he's heard him even in the womb.
Yeah.
He knows the sounds of his brother. So
Yeah, he knows exactly who he is. He knows exactly like the like again, like he can recognize, like he's starting to recognize shapes a little bit better, the little one. So like he recognizes when his brother's around. You can it's a weird thing to say, but like you can tell that they're all like, I can't for certain say that my kids love me and my wife, but I know for 100 that they love each other. And it's one of those things where it's just like, I find that hilarious. It's just like they're already like best friends, and they're already doing things together. Like in the car, they take turns making noise, like in the car, because one the youngest just started like cooing and stuff. So they'll take turns and they'll wait for the other person. It's like they're talking, and it's awesome.
it's so funny you say that, because we got 4 months ago, we got 2 puppies on the same day from different litters. We got a 4-month-old puppy and a little tiny 8-week-old puppy. What happened was we wanted one dog, but my wife set up multiple meets and greets.
And fell in love with 2 dogs.
We fell in love with 2 dogs. So
Yep.
what you say about that, about the bonding, they hit it off from the first minute, because they were both nervous. They're in this new place, so they just cling to each other. And what happened was, and I'm saying just what you're saying, a month later, like 3 weeks later, me and my wife had the same conversation. Because they were so bonded, but they were so young and getting to know us, that we were like, well, I don't know if they love us, but we know they love each other.
Yep.
Like they loved each other, but we were just the people putting the food down. They had no affection to us. That of course has changed, but I understand that feeling. Even though it's puppies and people, it's still that same feeling of, do they even care about us? The 2 of them are just have their own life together already.
Yep.
That's dope. That's good, because then it's not all craving your attention, right?
Yeah. He goes out of his way, like whenever my wife goes to put him down, he wants to be in the room playing, like with him, like around. So yeah.
Yes, Tigo. Happy Veterans Day this weekend, brother.
Yeah.
God bless, man. Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
Here, Johnny, I have advice for you, Johnny. Stop requesting me to sing on my channel. That way you don't get your wife pregnant again, bro.
Or just go get it snipped, dude. Just go get it snipped.
Yeah. Or do what Tigo does with the kids. Separate rooms for you and the wife.
It's not as hard as you think.
That's what she said.
One thing I'll say.
That
it's
is
not as hard as you think. It's just you and your wife are going to be roommates for a little bit. Like that's the only thing that I can say.
Not Johnny. Johnny's got a 1-year-old and he just got another one going.
No, but that's what I'm saying is like when the new one is born, you're roommates, because one has to take the older one and one has to take the younger one, and their schedules aren't going to match up for a little bit, so yeah.
When they're 4 years old and 3 years old, I think you're going to have that experience where there's some benefit. They keep each other company, and right.
It's not even that long. It's really,
That's what she said.
Hey, once you get to like 9 to 12 months, depending on when the newest one starts walking, that's when they really start, like when they can start being more independent. Like that's when our oldest started being independent. He learned to walk a week before his first birthday. And once he started walking, that's it. He's independent. He doesn't want us to feed him. He doesn't want us to hold his butt. Like he just wants to do everything on his own. And now he wants to do everything on his own with his brother. And so his little brother will see that, and he'll pick up on that stuff. And so I don't want to say take care of each other, but they'll hang out with each other. But like that first 9 months to a year, that's where you go into the roommate phase, which is, I take care of the oldest one and she takes care of the youngest one because I don't have tits. And that's how that works. Well, I do, but they don't have any milk in them.
Yeah, well, you could hire Nick. to help out.
I have nipples, Tigo. Can you milk me?
I could try.
I remember that line. That was great.
The Fockers. Yeah.
De Niro.
So many good references from that movie. That movie still, you get so many good references. All right, Tigo, since you're stopping in for the hangout, do you have your shows ready to go?
I do.
All right. I know you
This
do
is-
research. I know you're very analytical. I messaged it earlier to make sure you were prepared.
So this is in no particular order, right?
Okay.
The problem is, so I have, if you can't tell, I have ADHD. So I have a list of like 5 sitcoms that I just go to.
No, not
consistently.
sitcoms. Not sitcoms. Dramas. Tonight's like dramas, like Sopranos.
Shit.
Yes. Next week is sitcoms, and then
My
the
list
following
is
week is going to
totally
be
off.
cartoons. All right, save it for next week. Don't get rid of it. Don't kibosh it.
Shit.
All right.
Top 5 dramas.
I'll give you some time. I'll give you some time.
No, real quick. You go what? Band of Brothers is a drama, technically. That probably number 1. Game of Thrones is that considered a drama? That's a drama, right?
Yeah.
I would put
like I'm talking like cable shows, hour-long shows, not like The Office, not Cheers, The Cosby Show.
Yeah, those are sitcoms.
Those can't be compared against one another. Whose phone is texting? Mute it.
That's not me. Oh,
it's not me.
Yeah, no, it's you. Because it happened.
My phone's
before,
here
man.
on vibrate. I don't have notifications on. That infuriates me. Peaky Blinders.
Very good.
I love Peaky Blinders.
Very good.
Crap.
Ooh, Rutgers with a win by 24.
So I'm in the middle of this, and I just started, so I haven't really I already love it, so I'm putting it on the list. Suits.
Yes.
Suits.
I just finished it like a couple weeks ago.
And then I'm trying to pick like really long things that aren't like Johnny took one right out of my mouth. Like,
hey now.
Can I? Yeah, I'm gonna say it. The Witcher is so good.
Really?
So I'm gonna put The Witcher. So it is a book that was turned into a video game, which popularized the books even more. That was then turned into a series where Superman plays the main character, and it's incredible. And so, yeah, it's like a fantasy drama. Think Game of Thrones, but not Game of Thrones. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I love The Witcher. It is that universe is so incredibly like diverse and intricate, and the idea is every monster you've ever heard of in folklore and in legend, imagine they all exist, and in this world that's what happens, but they're all like monsters. And so witchers are magically enhanced and like superhumans that everybody hates that hunts these monsters for money.
I freaking I watched the first 2 seasons.
That's his DoorDash ring going off.
I watched the first 2 seasons. Tigo, I didn't know about the game or anything. My brother told me, he goes, "There's a game," but I watched the first 2 seasons and I freaking loved it.
It's so good. It's so good. I've played all 3 games. I am The Witcher 3, which is obviously the most recent one, is so incredibly good. But again, it's one of those things where like it's very unique because the story is driven and written so well. So well. I love it.
All right.
Honorable mention, I'd put The Rookie in there. I love The Rookie. Oh, Breaking Bad is considered one. Burn Notice. Oh, I love Burn Notice.
Oh,
Paul Klein came out with a freaking excellent list.
Paul.
I've never watched The Sopranos. I know I gotta
Paul
watch
just
it.
basically took the majority of my shows.
I wasn't a
Very
big
good,
Breaking
Paul.
Bad
Thanks
guy.
for joining us. Paul, if you're new here, please subscribe. But perfect timing and great comment to come in with.
Yeah. I wasn't a big Breaking Bad guy. I could see the brilliance of Breaking Bad, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I could have. Burn Notice. Oh, so good. I love Burn Notice. I rewatch Burn Notice once a year. The whole everything.
I'm so glad no one has said my number one yet. I mean,
Oh, okay. I forgot one
Don't
too.
do it.
That's my-
Your
so
number
all right. I'll
wait,
give
wait,
mine
let
now.
me no,
Go
wait.
ahead.
Let me see if I
You
can
good?
figure it out. Your number one. I'm gonna ask
I'll
one
give you a hint.
question.
I'll
Okay,
give
yeah, I
you
was
a
gonna
hint.
ask. Yeah, go ahead.
Network TV, not cable.
This
No,
is
no.
us.
Is it within the last 10 years or older? Like, is it 2010
When it
up?
ended?
No,
when
no,
it
no.
ended or
The
when it began?
majority when it began.
Before that,
So pre 2010,
I believe so.
and then ended somewhere in the 2010s.
I think mid 2000s it started, and then it
Okay.
ended. I'll get you the date. I'll get you now. I'll get you a ballpark. I don't want to give you the exact.
Oh,
No, no.
Suits,
I'm
Suits.
trying to figure it out.
It's not Suits.
Oh, that wasn't.
Here's my thing. I love Suits. You know that. We've
I-
talked about it.
I'm
But
enjoying.
I
Suits so
watched
much.
it so recently. I don't want to have recency bias, so I got to let it sit and marinate for a while.
Yeah.
And if I wait 6 months and I say I want to watch it again, then it gets bumped up.
Right.
'Cause I can
Supernatural.
watch something, love it, and be like, I'm like Game of Thrones. I loved it. I'm never gonna watch it again.
Supernatural. No,
No, I don't do
No?
any sci-fi really. Like Game of Thrones was like the only sci-fi one that I did.
not sci-fi, more fantasy. But
Same, right? Like
No.
I'm just saying, it's not sci-fi. There's no science in it.
that's why. Then I don't do either. Let me say.
I'm just correct. Be correct. Cable TV,
Bob said no. It's not the same.
Criminal Minds, NCIS, one of those, like cop dramas.
No, I love those.
But it's
I
not
love
that.
those, but they're both still going on.
Oh my God, yeah, they are, aren't they?
Chicago PD and Chicago Fire are my two favorites right now on network. They're the only two shows that I watch right now on network. And I actually talked to my mom the other day. I was like, Mom, I'm like, Chicago PD and Fire canceled, or did they end? She goes, no, there's a writer's strike, so they're not on. I'm like, oh, okay. Because normally I'll wait till November and I'll binge like the whole first half of the first part of the season.
Yeah.
And then I'll wait till like April, May, and I'll binge the whole second half.
Am I in the right
Oh, easy.
genre? Is it is it one of those cop dramas? No? Yes? Yeah?
Kind of.
Kind of.
Look at you Googling.
Me? Oh,
Oh, Tigo. He's got his Tigo analytics algorithm up. He's trying to the Tigonator 5000. He's putting all this
No,
data
I'm just
into.
thinking, dude. I'm trying to think of like
I'll put it this way: all of the shows in the chat, my number one has not been said yet. Sons is on my list.
I
All
can't
right, I'll
think of
give you
it.
my list.
Oh,
Is it True Blood?
Sons of Anarchy was freaking
True
terrible.
Blood.
No,
Damn, I thought I got it.
That's another
True
good
Blood
one.
was cable, wasn't it?
Was it?
Wasn't that the vampire show on HBO?
It may have been. No, I thought it maybe, but I thought it could
I thought
be
it was
in
TV. I
AMC.
thought it was
Like, I
TV.
thought Dexter started on cable with the
No,
regular.
that was
show.
Showtime. Dexter was Showtime.
But then
Dexter
did it
was
start
incredible.
on network and go to Showtime, or did it start
No.
Showtime?
No,
and go
it
to network?
started on Showtime and then went to network, I believe.
Which is weird, right? That. All right, so Suits, and these are the ones that just missed. Suits and Billions just missed because I still have the last season of. I watched the end of season 6 on
Yeah.
Billions right before we started. That's why I created the stream so late. Suits and Billions, I don't want to have the recency bias. I got to let it sit for a while. The other one that just misses is Boardwalk Empire.
Love
So
that.
here's my top 5. I'm going to give you my 2 through 5. Number 5, Oz.
Okay.
Oz
good one.
was so good. It was
It's a good
just as good as Sopranos, and you used to have to rush home on a Sunday night and put on Oz and Sopranos. It was
so
just
good.
it was the must-see TV before the DVRs took off, when you had to be home to watch it.
Nick, best line ever.
Why don't you get a spoon and eat my ass?
No, or okay, I like this one. How do you get that hat to stay on your head?
I love you too, Knobcraft. I just saw that comment.
I am Adabisi. Number 4, Sons of Anarchy.
Damn, I thought it might have been Sons.
Number
I couldn't
3,
remember if Sons was post 2010 or not.
Number 3, Breaking Bad.
Okay.
Number 2, Sopranos. I will say, still, nobody has said my number 1.
Cable. It's cable. You're 100%. It's
No,
cable.
it's network. It's
Oh,
network.
network. Now I'm getting on Google. Just to see a
No,
list.
Modine, The Office is my favorite sitcom, but we're doing just dramas or hour long. We're going to do comedy. We're going to do sitcoms next week. Ozark, GVH. I see GVH says Ozark. Ozark is right off the list, and it's also recency. I got to wait. Like, if I want to watch that again, I will say this. SVU is still going on. It's a show that ended, and it started in the early 2000s on network television.
Early 2000s network television.
Modine is so cute. He's an old guy. He doesn't know. Oh, he's yelling at sitcoms. Gucci.
I'm going to mute myself because I want to get it queued up. So
I'm gonna figure this out.
Modine roots for people when they spin the wheel. He's like, shirts. Aw. Gucci.
Has not been said.
It's crazy.
has not been said.
Prison Break?
Hold up. It's not Prison Break. But I will die on this island that if you watch the first season of Prison Break, it is the best season of any show ever. And then it got stale, and then it got old, and it kind of just kept being repetitive. But Prison Break season 1 might be the best season of any series ever on television. No, it is not Lost, Knobcraft. Very good guess. That also is up there.
Mad Men?
That's also. Nope, not cable. That was cable. That was A&E.
Yeah. $24.
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
Yes. There it is. I
was
cheated.
great.
Not gonna say. I have a list.
I need to speak to the president. I need to speak to
I
the
had the
president.
countdown queued up. 24. It is. Yeah.
I love that show.
I've watched that through 4 times. My buddy had all the DVDs. Yes, Tigo, we're that old. We used to have to buy the seasons
I have
on
DVDs,
DVD.
dude.
And but before
Right over there, I have what's gonna end up being in my top 5 for next week. I have this full seasons of 3 of the 5 right there. Right over there. I won't pull them out so my list isn't ruined.
Come on, why won't this fucking thing charge, you fucking lazy fuck?
Ooh, White Collar.
Yeah.
Forgot that White Collar
24
is a drama.
was,
I loved White Collar.
Monk was very good. Robert.
I got my 5.
Yeah.
Is Monk considered a drama?
Well,
Like,
it's not.
A drama.
Look, Chico, do you remember the monk where he's in the ocean and the only thing to hold him up is a toilet seat, and then he sees what it is?
He was a germaphobe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a
The
toilet
Yes,
seat.
mother-in-law.
Well, his
Nikki's
level
other
of
grandmother
OCD
used
is
to watch that.
his level of OCD is bordering CDO, but yeah. That's OCD, but in alphabetical order.
That was the best. Toilet seats.
I loved the commercials and all that stuff for Monk when they were going on, and like walks into a convenience store and then walks the cart to the front. This is everything that's expired.
Man, when I was a kid, I loved Hill Street Blues. Man, I love that show.
Oh wow. Wow, you got to talk to my mom. You old fuck. That was my mom, Hill Street Blues.
That was the best show. It was such a good show, man. L.A. Law
As
was
a
good.
kid, one of my favorite shows. They're actually rebooted, Quantum Leap.
Oh, I love that
Yep.
show. Whoa. That was a good show. That guy did a Star Trek series, the Enterprise. Scott Bakulek or something.
All-time great drama. The Golden Girls.
Again,
I-
is that considered a drama?
Yeah, Lost is good.
Yeah, comedy.
But here's the thing with Lost that bothers me. I felt that when Lost went on, it lost its original purpose. And I felt that like they just started
killed
taking any crazy idea that anyone had and they ran with it. And
They
like
killed
it didn't make sense.
You get
Not
to
that the concept ever made sense, but there was rhyme and reason to the show. There was progression, and then they just started throwing in like crazy shit.
The
I
first
think that-
season was great.
I think the thing is though
Yeah.
is you're always gonna find stuff like that. You're always gonna find like a great example of a show that I think follows that really well, where the more you keep watching it, it's just like, okay, like what are we doing here? Like, is White Collar, because White Collar in the beginning is incredible, right? So it's a do you know what white collar crime is? It's like paintings and money laundering and all of that stuff, right? So like they get one of the best white collar criminals, they catch him because he's going after his girl and blah blah blah. And like the first 2 seasons is all about he's trying to get his girl. And then he finally gets her. And then there's a twist. And then it's about getting the guy who took the girl. And so like the first 2 or 3 seasons are really, really well written because they're driven by a singular emotion that you can, as a viewer, relate to. If somebody took your significant other from you, you would go through hell and through brimstone, hellfire and brimstone to go get that person back. And that's what's happening, all wrapped up in a really nice polished cop show where they're stealing like paintings and they're breaking in. It's a cat burglar and it's ooh la la. Well, no, he works for the cops. You're muted, by the way. He is a criminal with a.
How did you know what I asked? Did you read my
I can
lips?
read your lips, yeah.
Oh,
He's
that's going to be a fun challenge to do.
He's wearing a tracking anklet, so he's helping the cops catch the criminals while also being a criminal and progressing his own things. And so it goes really, really well. And then they wrap it up nicely with a bow. They get to the end, they get the guy, and then it's just like, this show is too good. So then it's like, what if we find a Nazi submarine full of art? And it's just like, okay, there's a Nazi submarine off of the coast of New York and no one's found it yet. Like full of priceless art and no one's found it, but this guy just found it. And it's just like, it goes off the rails and it's just like, it's just ridiculous.
I'll tell you, it's not in my top 5. A show I really like that's not in my top 5, but I think it deserves honorable mention for the best finale of any of the drama I've ever seen in my life. It's maybe the only finale I've ever loved, and that was 6 Feet Under. Had the best finale I've ever seen. The best.
I fell off on that show. I watched it early and I fell off on it.
It was the best finale, man. It gave you full closure. It was like sad.
Wasn't the guy from Dexter in 6 Feet Under?
Yes, that's how he got famous. Yeah. It was just a great finale, man. Like it was just.
Hey, Mark, what's up, buddy? Knob, I don't think I know Tigo acknowledged you before. I was putting my list together. Knob, welcome. Mark's here. What's up, pal? How are you?
Mark Reese, Mr. Reese.
Anyone else I missed?
I don't understand why we have to approximate 32,000 times 8,000.
So, all right, that was dope. That was a good conversation. Jared, did you finish yours? Did you do yours?
Yeah, I got my list. I mean, I got it now, my top 5 in order and everything. I mean,
Fire away.
I didn't put a ton of thought into it, but it's close enough. At number 5, Walking Dead.
Fun.
I mean, I couldn't stop watching that show. So addicted. Dexter at number 4.
Okay.
Nice. I loved Dexter until again they needed to keep it going and it just fell off.
Yeah.
Chico sounds like the kind of Hughes on the.
Thank you.
At number 3, at number 3, Sopranos. Number 2, Handmaid's Tale. We read the book. Me and my wife. We were so into that, man. It's still
Handmaid's
going.
Tale? What?
Yeah.
What is that on? What is that?
Hulu. It's like
it's a Hulu original.
It's a Hulu original.
Okay.
But it's based on a book called The Handmaid's Tale. It's a best-selling book. But
Okay.
it was like, it's like this intense futuristic society of like, well, you might see it. You might root for the opposite people we root for. As a matter of fact, you watch it, make your own judgment. Okay.
It's really interesting, Handmaid's Tale, because it gets you to like. It's just a political dystopia, is what it is. It's so interesting to see like what could happen.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
It's kind
I
of like
haven't seen it. I've read it.
it has some similarities to like, I'm not saying completely, but there's like the best way I could say it is if you ever know this 1984,
Yep.
the book
Yeah.
1984, it kind of has
Yeah,
that
but
feel
like-
to it.
But flipped on its head, right?
Yeah.
Because like 1984 is like worst case scenario of one side, where
Yeah.
Handmaid's Tale is the worst case scenario of the other side.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, like you don't want either one of these things, right? The answer is somewhere in the middle. It's so good.
Yeah. And then my number
Thank you,
1
Colby.
is definitely, and it's weird because it's a network show, but I mean I love this fucking show. This Is Us.
Give me go. Wait. Damn it! Did you say it?
I said This Is Us.
All right.
That was that's my favorite show of all time now. It's like because it had everything. It had everything. Like multiple stories through time, connecting people, and
Oh yeah.
it was brilliant the way it was done because like you find out why they showed you that part of the past and how it connected to the time in the
Yeah.
in the present.
Why
and, like,
somebody
it was-
acts the way they
it was-
do in the present. Do you know
it was
why I
brilliant.
stopped watching that show?
Why?
Because I found
Because
out
my
the
wife
fat
started
guy
watching.
wasn't fat, and it was a fucking fat suit.
Are you serious?
The fat guy wore prosthetics. The Toby.
Oh, I didn't know
Was-
that.
You fucking Google it. He showed up at an award show and he wasn't fat. I was like, oh my God, he lost all the weight. And then my girlfriend at the time goes, oh, you're going to be upset. Because this is where the cancel culture, and I'm going to navigate these waters un-Nick Shinely. I'm going to be very, very careful how I
Good
word
luck.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Good luck.
this. Cancel
I'm
culture
praying for you.
went nuts on Breaking Bad, the actor, real life.
What's the guy's name? The older guy?
Yeah, Malcolm in the Middle dad. His name in real life.
I don't know his name.
Give me
He
2
did a
seconds.
show. He did a movie, I think, and he got cast as somebody.
Bryan
as
Cranston.
special- Bryan Cranston. He got cast as somebody with special needs.
Mhm.
And the cancel culture started riling up their boring ass lives collectively.
Yeah.
And we're like,
Yeah.
but they're special needs actors. Why couldn't you get one of them to play the role? So then Nick wanted to do cancel culture. I was like, there's fucking fat people everywhere. We had to get a skinny guy, dress him up. Is the guy that great of an actor? Like, I could have been the fucking Toby. Like, seriously? Like, did
So,
we
but
have
here-
to really
You could
do
have been
that?
Toby. You could have
Here's the thing, though.
I
From
could've
what I
been Toby.
remember, though, I think what actually happened is when he got cast, he was not as large as he was in the show, but he was a little chunkier, and then he lost a ton of weight. But they didn't like skinny
They
him.
fat suited him. They gave
Yeah,
him,
so
like, the
but they didn't
prosthetics.
like skinny. They already cast him, but when they came back to record, they didn't like skinny him, so they put him in a fat suit.
Well, let's be real. you couldn't put a skinny guy next to her. You
Of
needed
course
a
not.
big guy next to her.
Of course not. Like I stopped watching the
I
show because
went
my
from
wife got
being
into it.
so
And so
politically correct, just going back to being full Nick shy. Like, no, she's too big. You can't have a skinny person next to her.
oh shit. Be right back.
Someone hopped out of the crib.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, that was a good show. I watched that. I loved NCIS when Gibbs was on. I can't do it. I can't do it without Gibbs. I've tried. Donoso, McGee, and Gibbs, and Ziva, and that was the best run for one of those prolonged 20-something year shows. Game of Thrones was great. Like I tried watching Game of Thrones the first year it came out. I ruptured my bicep. I was out of work, and somebody told me to try it. And I will fully admit, I think I've said this before, whether on your show or another show, I never really do shows with accents. And I watched the beginning of Game of Thrones, and my buddy goes, "You're gonna love it. It's got midgets, and he's in a gangbang in the first episode." And I'm like, "All right, I'm down. I'll watch Game of Thrones. First episode of Game of Thrones is the midget in a gangbang." But I'm like, I can't get through the fucking accents. And I never watched it. And my girlfriend,
That's a
that whole
scary
entire
sight
time,
to look at. 5 notifications missed from your wife who's in the other room. It's just like shit.
the sixth one from the divorce lawyer.
Happens to me all the time. I click on Do Not Disturb, and I'm like, oh shit.
Sorry, hon. I was trying to figure out 24 for Nick.
Not being able now that I actually heard and processed what you said, not being able to deal with the accents is the most bullshit reason to not watch something.
But there were many times where I had to put the closed captioning on because I just
yeah, no, I get it. I watch with closed captioning.
Some of those
anyway.
accents were so heavy that it was like I could do it blind at the time, like putting closed caption on and off. And I hate it because then I'm reading the show before they say it. So it aggravated me.
See,
But
I don't read. I only read when I don't understand something, because there was a lot of. So there's this great example of that. So there's
Harlan's old. He's saying Dallas. Wow,
Harlan,
Dallas.
yes.
Who shot JR?
I would guess Harlan's 54 if he's putting out Dallas. Minimum.
Harlan is
54.
an older gentleman.
Harlan, who did put who shot JR? I'd say older because I was young and not interested in Dallas at that age, and I think I guessed that Harlan's about 65.
Mr. Bonesy.
What's up, Bonesy?
What's up, brother? Thank you for joining.
So have you watched Game of Thrones though, right? So if I reference a character, you know who it is. So the guy who plays Robb Stark, right? He did a movie after he left the show.
Iron Man?
No.
Okay.
That's Tony Stark, his brother.
Yeah. Where he is a security guard for a high level whatever, blah 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 blah. I forget what the show is. I think it's called Bodyguard. Yeah. And the entire show, he's a movie. I'm sorry. I think he's supposed to be like Scottish or Irish or one of the northern accents of that island. Right. And the entire time he's saying, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, to this lady. And then plot twist, if you haven't seen it, deal with it. It happened in 2018 or whatever. He sleeps with her. And people freaked out because for the longest time they thought he was saying mom because how thick the accent is. So he thought, yes, ma'am, yes, mom, no, mom. And then they bang. And then they're like, he's doing his mom.
Well, that happened in Game of Thrones, or Sister. And then that happened in Boardwalk Empire too with Jimmy. But
yeah, I thought that was very funny.
But here's the Game of Thrones. I started watching it, and I literally had no interest in watching it for years. And then finally they said it was the final season, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right, it's like February, March, and I watched my girl, like, you couldn't call her, you couldn't text her. She was like scratching at her, like the excitement, like to watch these shows. And I started watching it in March. The finale was in June. I watched all
Oh,
the
you
episodes.
watched everything, binged watched it.
Wait. I got like almost killed. I watched the second to last episode in her basement, and it ended 4 minutes before the series finale aired live. And I got to watch the finale live. And she was like, well, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm done. I've been watching it at home. I haven't told you. I just had to watch this last episode before the finale tonight. You're not fucking watching it with me. I suffered through this show and all the stories and the news and the waiting. And she's like, you think you're just going to sit here with me and watch it? Get the fuck out. Like, and I was like, the show started, like, and I was like, I'm not going to leave. Like, shut the fuck up. Don't talk to me. But like, I got slayed. She was so upset. It's great.
That is so. I have a bunch of. I watched it. I read all the books. All that
Oh,
stuff.
Harlan,
right? And I
God bless,
loved it.
man. I'm sorry, real quick. I saw Harlan say he's going to be 66 soon. If God
I
wills.
said 65. That was my guess. Isn't that crazy?
So
That's
you're right.
nuts.
He is 65.
That's nuts.
You nailed it.
Well done.
Nice. Go ahead, Tiga. I just want to acknowledge Harlan.
No, it's all good. I love Harlan. Still the only person who's bought my merch.
Oh, that's
But
dope.
yeah, I bought 2 tea mugs or coffee mugs that he uses for tea.
I gotta come out with a mug.
Don't have your mug on it.
I'm gonna put my mug. I'm gonna put my mug on a mug.
Good idea. Do it. And I was watching it.
The mug. Put it inside the mug on the bottom, so when you get to the last sip, it's
It'd be so good. Oh, but like, so again, so like I'm sitting there, I'm reading it, I'm watching it, and like I kind of have an idea or a guess of how the show is going to end and all the things, right? And so I watched it or whatever, and it was great, and I enjoyed it, and I know the last season was rushed, everyone was tired of doing Game of Thrones or whatever, but like I enjoyed it, right? I have a couple of buddies of mine who only started watching Game of Thrones last year. And all 3 of them watched it all together, like at the same time. And they were like, okay, this week we're going to watch season 1. And then they all finished season 1 in 2 days. And then they were like, okay, we're not going to be able to do this on a weekly basis. So this week we're going to watch season 2, 3, and 4. And next week we're going to watch 4, 5, and 6. And then the week after we're going to go 7, 8, and 9 or whatever, however many seasons. And so they started binge watching the show. And so we have a group chat, and it was funny because like mainly we talk about like is video games. A lot of people don't know this, but I played video games semi-professionally for 13 years. So we talk a lot about video games, and then we talk about a lot about football. And you could tell when they were like done or when they were watching, because they would all stop texting at the same time. The group chat would go silent. And then I'd be on my phone or whatever, and I'd just be hanging out on my own. And then my phone would just vibrate off the desk because they were like, "Can you believe the Red Wedding episode? Oh my God, they killed him!" And it's but every week it was they killed him.
They synchronized when they would watch it and watch it. Oh,
yeah, like because they would said you can't text it. Not that they would synchronize it, but there were deadlines, right? Where it was like, if you haven't watched it by Friday, get out of the group chat. Yeah, we won't talk about it until Friday at 6. But if you haven't caught up by Friday at 6, that's on you. We're going off in the group chat. Don't pick up your phone, right? And it would just be messages of just, oh my God. And we'd get on group chats and they would talk for hours. And then they watched the finale. And the rage. And I was just like, being able to live through those emotions again through them was awesome. But like, it was just so funny. But yeah, Game of Thrones, really good. I enjoyed it.
That's great. That's great. Baywatch. When Baywatch first came out, like the Pamela Anderson, before they brought in Carmen Electra and I forget the other girls' names, but that original cast, and I always thought it was hysterical that they had the skinny brunette with the short, like hair who had like no figure was like the co-star of the show. I always thought that like they had to get one legitimate actress, right?
You have to.
You had to, and she was the one, I guess, legitimate. How about Knob? How about when Hulk Hogan went to WCW and him and Vader and Kevin Sullivan all show up on the beach in Baywatch? It's a 60-minute B movie. It was literally Cinemax or Cinemax After Dark in the afternoon on Channel 9 on like a Friday or Saturday afternoon. Oh, dude, I can't. I have so many good topics for the Friday night hangout. If we're gonna dedicate time to pop culture shit, we're gonna do tag teams for wrestling. We're gonna do like stoner movies, like Super Troopers. You know what I mean? Like movies that like people in that genre like would love.
Friday
Might not be the shows that I come on.
You could still laugh at stupid movies though, and be like, you could watch
Well,
it.
yeah,
and be like, that's the movie. Like you're like, oh, that's definitely a movie that's gonna be big.
But I don't
like,
know if I've seen
Pineapple
5
Express.
of those movies.
Yeah, you see like Seth Rogen's movie, Pineapple Express. Like that's a stoner movie. This is the end. Like those are stoner movies. Any super bad. Anything Seth Rogen's been a part of is a
That's the thing.
movie.
Like I get what you're saying. I just haven't watched any of those movies.
she's having a
Really?
baby.
Yeah.
You've
You
never
never
seen Superbad?
Nope.
American Pickle.
Nope.
Oh, they're the best movies.
Wait. All right.
Something
you have
like
to
a porno.
You have to
What?
leave the group chat until you watch
Something
Superbad.
make a porno. I forgot the name of that movie. Something so and so make a porno. What was that?
I forget the names, but it was, yeah.
40-year-old virgin.
Oh
What?
my God.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Like
Hot Tub
40-year-old
Time
virgin is not a stoner movie. That's just an older.
No,
Is it?
I mean,
no,
I mean,
40-year-old. Is it considered a stoner movie?
No, it's not a stoner movie, but,
No, that's
but
not a stoner
being
film.
stoned watching it enhanced your experience with the laughs.
Harold and Kumar go to White Castle.
Never seen it.
Oh man, thank you, Matthias.
You're
Thank
missing
you.
out.
Like
No,
again,
I'm
you can go down the list. I look. My movie repertoire is very large
Boring.
and expansive for like good movies, like that are like objectively like not just like that's a shit haha funny movie, but like
Oh
yeah no
Oh wait.
like the
So
stoner
there's no
movies
way you've ever
and,
seen. If we're
like
going
scary
off these
movies, and I'm not just talking about the scary movie franchise. I'm talking about like any like I haven't seen any of those. I don't
Do you know
find
the-
those
Yeah, I don't
interesting
watch
or
those.
compelling.
You know the greatest stoner movie in the world, and it's the most unappreciated thing. Nobody knows this, but it's the greatest.
time to Ridgemont High.
The greatest stoner movie in the world is the original, The Muppet movie. You watch this. You watch this.
That's not a stoner movie.
I'm telling you, when
Just
Here's
he
why.
was stoned
Wait,
when he
wait,
made the
wait,
Muppets doesn't mean
wait.
it's a stoner
Chico,
movie.
wait. I took him out, and here's why. That line is so amazing. I never want to hear him say another word the rest. I want that to be the last thing he ever fucking says to me. Is that the Muppet movie is the best of all time? That's the greatest thing you've ever said, bro.
That's
Dude,
that's
if
it. End your channel. I don't know if you
imagine
can ever
imagine
reach
you're
that
sitting
level
there after a few bong hits, you're high as a kite, and you
You're
start
watching the Muppets.
You start watching a movie with a frog.
But if that's the criteria, then anything can be a stoner movie.
Yeah.
If
Well,
you can just
yeah, but
get
I'm-
stoned while you watch it.
It makes a great.
Wait,
story
here you
because
go.
He's playing the banjo, and then he sings this song, and the next scene, he's riding a bike with the long legs, and if you're stoned, you can't stop laughing.
Again, I have no idea. Well, remember the Titans isn't a stoner movie, Mr. Bonesy.
Remember the time?
What's the-
Can you imagine Jeremy like Jeremy Stoner reviews? Be like,
I,
yo, we
I
watched.
would pay money for that.
Here, I got one right now. Here
Patreon
you go.
exclusive. I would watch that.
Exclusive. Here's an exclusive
I'd pay to watch
Jeremy
that.
review. Yo, so me and Jocelyn were watching this. We were stoned. It's this great show to watch when you're stoned. We're watching Jeffrey Dahmer. You imagine this dude?
No,
was
because
eating-
every episode would just divulge into the OG Jets Chaos shows. What? No, back when it was Jets Chaos with Jeremy, it would divulge into those where it's like kind of coherent in the beginning, and then it goes way off topic, and then food shows up out of nowhere. And then it's just food.
Yes, like plates would get handed in from the
Yeah.
side or delivery.
Where at the beginning, he still had a little bit of decorum, right? He would end the stream because he would go eat downstairs with his wife, and then that just went out the window, and the food was just brought, and all
There
you would
was a
see is a
time
plate.
There was a
come
time
over
on a
the
Friday
camera.
night hangout, he left me and Adam on the show because he had to go to the pharmacist to get medicine for the previous dog. And he was just like, all right, Adam, you got controls. I'll be back in a bit. And left for 45 minutes. Came back with like a whole fucking plate of food. And like, what happened to you? He was like, oh, I stopped to get food too. I was out. I figured you guys had the show. I was watching. I heard what you were saying.
Oh man.
Those are the good days. All right, now Tigo. We got to slow this down. I got to process this.
No, I
You've
haven't.
never seen Super Troopers?
Nope.
You've never seen Super Bad?
Nope.
Have you seen Old School?
Nope.
All right, we're gonna start there. We're gonna start. I don't want to overwhelm you.
You keep going. Like the reality is that it'll be 6 to 9 months before I can dedicate time to watching a movie. You know, and yeah.
Wow.
I don't even know
American
where to go
Pie?
with this.
Did you see American Pie?
No, there's no way he saw American Pie if he hasn't seen those.
I don't think so.
I just named 3 really good ones, and he said no. Like
I know of quotes. I believe I know of quotes from American Pie.
Hmm.
no, there's no way he saw
That had-
Wedding
that had-
Crashers.
I haven't seen it.
That had
But
Eugene
I
Levy in it.
but yeah.
Well,
Have you
everybody's
seen
done it.
Have you seen Meet the Parents? Ben Affleck? Ben Stiller. Jesus Christ.
Ben Stiller and
Oh,
Robert
what they changed the name, right? It was Meet the Fockers, right?
No,
And
That
they
was the
changed it?
sequel.
That was the sequel. I think I've seen the sequel, not the first one.
What about Analyze This with Billy Crystal and Robert
Nope.
De Niro?
Oh, now you're so old. I've barely seen that.
Oh, that was the best, though. Come on, that was great.
How about What About Bob? Have you seen
Nope.
What About Bob?
Oh my, Baby Steps.
No.
All right, Tigo, I'm sending you a list of 5. I went with Old School, Super Bad.
Bro,
Super
what
Bad.
about Bob came out before I was alive?
Okay.
That came in 91.
How about Animal House? Have you seen Animal House?
No.
Oh my.
That came out in 1978. I was born in 95.
It's a classic. Have you seen Monty Python?
I've
Search
seen
for
The
Holy
Godfather.
Grail?
The
Of course I've
Godfather.
seen Monty Python. Monty Python is one of the best films of all time.
If you've seen Monty Python Search for the Holy Grail, you're
Of
okay.
course,
in my-
I can quote Monty Python in the Search for the Holy
then
Grail.
you're okay in my
We
book.
are the nuts who send me.
We will say knee on you. Knee.
We want
There's-
a second shrubbery.
I'm
but on a
looking in
separate
the
level
list
with a
that-
little pathway in the middle.
It's just a
All right.
flesh wound.
There's Slammin' Salmon. Is that the sequel to Baywatch? He hasn't seen one. There's no way he saw Silent Bob. He probably doesn't even know who
Nope.
Jay and Silent Bob are.
No.
Nope.
The Clerks.
American Pie, American 2 are both good. American Pie was an early George Lucas movie.
Harlan
No way he saw
But
Grandma's Boy.
guys, what does all of this matter if you don't know the average wind air velocity of a European swallow carrying 2 coconuts?
What about Throw Mama from the Train?
So good. Have you seen Goonies?
No. But that's more to spite
Right.
my wife. Gremlins,
All
yeah.
right. I respect the stubbornness, Tigo. You know how I am. I
She
respect
enjoys
the
the Goonies, but
if I had a hat on, I'd tip it to you right now about like respect. All right,
Are you
James?
suggesting that coconuts migrate?
Tigo, do you remember like an hour later in that movie, there was a scene where in the background somebody is sitting there with a coconut and
Yeah.
a bird.
Or my favorite is I still hit people with your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberries. I use that daily, like on a regular basis, whenever I'm just joking around with my friends, especially in our fantasy. So like literally did this week. A buddy of mine took the Chargers defense. And then I put it on the channel and I was like, I need to fight him now, right? Because like he took the Chargers defense against the Jets. Like I have to go fist fight him now. And they were like, yeah, pretty much. And then it worked out in his favor. The Chargers defense got 30 points. And then he was like, get screwed, blah, blah, blah. And then I hit him with whatever. Your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberries. And yeah.
I'm not a
I'm
lady.
little older than you.
I'm a man, and I'm not old.
I go with From the Three Amigos, another movie you haven't seen.
Oh,
Anything with Martin Short is amazing. My go-to Martin Short never misses. I will die on this hill that Martin Short live is the greatest thing in all of entertainment to watch. Martin Short has never missed. He's always on. But
I'm really upset.
Three Amigos, it's Chevy Chase, Steve Martin, and Martin Short.
When we raped the villages.
And my go-to line is, "You are the son of a motherless goat."
Yeah. Yep. I'm really upset because my wife really, really likes Only Murderers in the Building. And I love Martin Short. And so I can't watch it because she watches it. You know? That's why I stopped watching This Is Us.
Why can't you watch it? What she watches?
No. There's just certain things that I'm just being stubborn with my wife.
Oh.
Because there are things like, for example, my wife there are certain things that like I obviously like I'm a really, really big fan of. And I've been trying to get her to read Dune, like the book.
Wow.
Since we got married.
That's a tough read though.
It is, but not for her. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And she hasn't done it purely out of stubbornness, you know? And so there are certain things where I gotta match her level of stubbornness with. Another one is I've been asking her to read like The Way of Kings, which is so good. And so she hasn't. So I gotta, I can't like things that she likes for a little bit.
Wow.
We can't start talking about books. Nick's going to just be lost.
Where is my copy of Dune?
Another movie, Martin Short, Inner Space, outstanding comedy, Inner Space with Dennis Quaid and Martin Short. My God, Tigo, we have so many movies. Tigo, my producer JR, who bowls on Friday nights, he can get any movie from a website, and I could set it up in a StreamYard. And just
it's not about access. I can find the movies. Nick,
time. He doesn't have time.
Tigo, we've been on fucking this for an hour and 45 minutes, and you've been in the chat, and then
I joined 30 minutes ago.
Well, we could have watched a third of the movie. They're comedies, dude. They're an hour 20 to an hour 40 max. They're quick.
We're the nights that say nee.
We're gonna have a viewing party of Tigo watching movies.
We are no longer the nights that say nee. We are now the nights that say icky wicky.
Icky, bang, shoot, bunks.
Now, Harlan, we're gonna do sitcoms next week. We're gonna definitely do sitcoms next week. That's next week's conversation. I'm debating putting cartoons in it or having cartoons be in their own category.
Their own thing.
I know, right? Because
cartoons are not sitcoms. They're not sitcoms. Like again, there are some epic animated like cartoon shows, and none of the ones that I'm gonna say are probably gonna be the ones that you're gonna say because I'm like 20 years younger than you guys. But that doesn't matter.
You're gonna be like, I love Bob's Burgers.
Nah,
No,
good.
I
it
figured
was
you're in
good.
the
It's
Bob.
not on my list.
How old are you again? Were you 27?
28 7 days ago.
My wife makes me watch Family Guy.
Eh.
Love it. Love it.
My dad loves Family Guy,
Love
but
it.
no.
It's so good.
I don't know how they get away with it.
Because they don't care.
Because it's a cartoon and it's not an actual person saying it. So you get away with it because you're under the umbrella of a fictional, non-existent
South Park,
person.
dude. It's like South
The
Park.
fact.
My favorite, again, guys. I'm sorry. This isn't trying to. You're not. This isn't on. This is on Nick's channel, so you can't get hit with a copyright strike or a demonetization or whatever. Because it's whatever. Not
Oh,
important.
why is the dig? What's the dig?
It's
for?
not a dig. I'm just like, but like South Park, the episode where they're in court trying to defend the word, being able to use the word fag.
It's my favorite.
That is my favorite piece of animated television on the planet.
It's my favorite reel or whatever you want to call it, a short, because it pops up on Instagram
All the time.
once a week for me, and I'm like, I watch it through every time. No, we're not saying that he like sleeps with guys. We're just saying like that.
One of my favorite jokes of all time from a comedian is he's talking about how being gay might be the least gay thing on the planet, and being straight is probably gayer than being gay in terms of like when you look at the word, like, you know, like when we also used to grow up, you used to call things, oh, that's gay. And it wasn't like about like, no. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? This is being gay. And he's just like, on Saturday, I went to a farmer's market with my fiance. That's gay.
Yeah.
It'd be less gay if I stayed home and effed a dude. I went to a farmer's market, then had a nap. I was just like, it's such a good bit.
I don't like admitting
that I watch Tom Segura.
I love going to the farmer's market. I hate admitting it.
I do too. I don't admit it. What?
If you watch Tom Segura,
yeah, I've seen every one of his specials.
It's like, you know, like it's something that you say you can't. It have to be 10 guys in a row. I want to come. Give me the come. Then you could say that's gay.
Oh, he'd love the 40-year-old virgin when they do the whole routine of the you know how I know you're gay. He'd love that bit.
We do that to each other on the phone all the time.
We do that bit all the time. There's like a part of the movie where they're just like the whole movie, they're just saying, you know how I know you're gay? And they'll say, because you just said that, or you know how you know you're gay, because like everything is, you know how I know you're gay. It's just the best. And then I think it really it got into pop culture. It got into pop culture. Everybody was doing it after that movie.
Oh yeah.
Everybody was doing that. So
yeah, now you can't. So
now you can't.
But
do things that are fun.
You can laugh as long as you laugh at everything, man. As long as you're not being hate filled when you say it, you can make a joke about anything. That's my take on it.
We grew up in a time where you could, and it's like
not everyone was so sensitive.
Everything is you're not allowed to laugh anymore. You're not allowed to. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, when comedians get canceled or comedians get in trouble, you know that this country has went way too far.
But now they're fighting back.
Is to do that. Their job is to make funny out of things.
But now they're fighting back hard, and so the jokes are getting even like worse, not bad, but like worse in terms of like offensive, and it's great. I don't know if you guys know who this is, but like Shane Gillis.
Yeah.
He's a dude. Have you seen his new special?
Yes, it's fantastic. Oh my God,
I just watched it the other night. I watched it 2 days ago. I was cooking dinner and I had it on because my wife had both of the boys downstairs, so I had like 45 minutes to myself.
I'm not making him at night, Dad. I'm making him at night.
I was rooting for the monkey bars. That had me dead. Their feet move when they shoot. Oh man. Oh.
Yeah, so Tom Segura, Burt Kreischer.
I'm not making him at night, Dad.
I'm making him at night. And then he does the face. Like, I'm making him at night. Oh, Italy.
Sebastian is really good.
Whenever you're in a bad mood, you just Google, you YouTube search Don Rickles roast, and they will just put. There's a group of 4 black guys who watch videos, like live reactions to videos they've never seen before. And they watched Don Rickles and they were dying because Don back then you did racial jokes, you busted Sammy Davis, you know what I mean? Like he would go down the dais and make the black jokes about them being there and be like, oh, someone's got to clean up after, and everyone would be rolling because it's Don Rickles. It's an honor to be roasted by Don Rickles.
Yeah.
And they watched 20 minutes of Don Rickles just killing people and like their faces and their reactions. Like they had to pause it and go back because they were laughing so hard and so loud. But if you're ever in a bad mood, you need to be cheered up. Watch Don Rickles, another one who's always on. He never.
You want to
missed.
talk comedians?
Bill
I
Burr.
could talk comedians for hours. I love comedians.
I
I
love
used to go to sleep to stand-up specials, like on Spotify.
Yeah.
I used to just put them on. I had a playlist of hundreds of them, and I used to just go to sleep listening to different guys.
I love Bill Burr, George
Bill
Carlin.
Burr. Yep.
Carlin was so far ahead of his time, man. So
He
far ahead of his
was.
time.
He was, but then he went off the rails, dude. Like I think
He
Carlin's
was
show-
76 doing his last stand-up.
But I'm not talking about I'm talking about like the last like 15 years of his career was just insane. Like again, in the beginning, he showed us, gave everybody the blueprint of this is what a comedian is. If you can't come up with a new special every year, this isn't for you, because he had a new special every 9 months. And everybody wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
And he did it for like 20 years. Where it was a new special and a new special, and it was so good.
He would make you piss your pants with laughter while making you think and open your eyes to what's going on in the world, which is very difficult to do.
It's probably one of his greatest bits, but the what you can and what you can't say on TV bit, it's just a 15-minute monologue of how you can say like these cuss words, but you can't say this.
Like George Carlin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You cock, motherfucker, victim, and piss.
Yep.
But you can say NBC.
My favorite joke
is a peacock.
My favorite joke Carlin ever did, obviously because it hits close to home. And he's like, what's with all these names nowadays? Like Kyle and Tucker and Todd. I bet you Nikki, Bobby, and Vinny will beat the shit out of Kyle, Tucker, and Todd 10 times out of 10.
It's such a good, but like that's the thing, dude.
There was one morning I'm watching it on HBO at like 6:30 in the morning one day with my mom, like waiting to go golfing. And I have a visor on, and he's like, who the fuck wears a visor? Why would you buy a hat? I went and took the hat off because I felt like George Carlin was making fun of me.
He was roasting you, right?
Like, who buys this hat? It's not even a full hat. It doesn't cover your whole head. What are we doing? And I'm like, oh, I can't wear this anymore, Mom.
Oh,
how come everybody else's stuff is shit to you and your stuff is shit to them? Like, would you get your shit away from my stuff?
Yep, that's a good one too.
Sorry
it's
for
just
the chat,
so
guys.
good.
I'm sorry. I apologize to the chat. I'm going to use the bathroom. I got to pee, and then I will be more chat oriented when we get back with getting your comments up. I love that you guys are chiming in and talking with one another. I'm reading them, but I'm not putting them up, and I apologize for that. I'll be right back. Diabetic bladder, tinkle time.
I love the deadpan of Stephen Wright. You know, like it's a small world, but I wouldn't want to paint it.
Oh man.
The other day
I agree. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. I
was gonna bring in the chat. Italy. I liked Mulaney, and I agree with Barney. I agree with Barney. Mulaney was good in the beginning because he was kind of off-putting. Like when he made it onto the scene and he had his specials, Mulaney was really interesting. But Mulaney kind of is the same level of comedian in terms of like you can't keep watching him because he gets old, and it's not just the comedy, it's just him as a human. As how I found Kevin Hart as a comedian. I loved Kevin Hart's first specials. They were great. And his new specials are still really good, but I just don't like Kevin Hart as a person anymore. Like I just don't find him all that funny as I don't know. It's not that I don't find him funny. It's just weird. But then you find guys where it's just like, oh, I don't care what their specials are. I will watch every single one of them because I enjoy them as a human. great examples of that is like, I've seen Chris D'Elia live 6 times.
Wow.
And I think I love D'Elia, and we're going again next year. We go every year. If he comes to Florida, we try to go
you
watch
stayed
D'Elia.
a fan after the whole child porn thing?
Yeah. But it wasn't like real.
What was crazy is he was on a show that had him as the character
They
with
cut him out.
child porn. And then, yeah, in real life it happened. What show was that? What was he on?
I don't remember. They cut him out of
It
that
was a
show,
movie.
funny. And so he made a new special, right? I just recently watched the special. It's really good. And it was hilarious because like he's talking about is like, look, you want to cancel people, all that stuff. I didn't actually do any of that stuff, blah, 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 whatever. But if it's going to be a business move, that's fine. And he makes a joke where he's like, Netflix took me off of their platform, blah, blah, blah. And they took me out of one episode of a show. And that's fine. But you know who's in that show later on? One of the Jenners. And she killed somebody.
Was it you?
I don't know. He wasn't mentioning it so he wouldn't get sued or whatever. But the bit is just so
Netflix,
good.
Netflix was you. I think that's what it was.
The bit was so good because he's like, okay, people are allowed to make a mistake, but if you're going to cancel people, how about we cancel the murderers? Because she literally killed a guy and she's still in the show. And I got accused for doing something I didn't do and I'm not in the thing. And it's a funny bit. But yeah.
Barney,
Like,
I agree.
The Rogan guys is the best way. I love Louis.
I love him. I love every show he's ever done. I'm a member of his website, so he'll do TV shows. Remember, he did the show with Stephen Wright, who was the guy at the bar. He was one of the drunk guys at the bar, and I watch everything he does. He's brilliant, beyond belief. Every show
he really
done,
is. I think Louis C.K. If people didn't overreact to him like jerking off in the corner of a room, he would go down as probably not my generation's, but like as the generation right before me, as that generation's greatest comedian, because that's what I truly think Louis was. Louis was able to make you laugh about anything.
He's still brilliant.
He is, but he got
Louis
canceled.
that he did on HBO.
Yeah, dude.
He got all canceled because
he didn't get canceled.
He gets turned on by having girls watch him.
He's back,
but which was, by the way, because
he asked for permission.
He did. That's the craziest thing. He got canceled for asking for permission to jerk off in the corner.
Me and my
He's like, here's my best life advice. If you ever ask somebody if you can jerk off in front of them, just ask, are they sure?
Me and my wife decided that Louis C.K. was this generation's, like the new generation Woody Allen, because he was more than just a comedian. He's a brilliant director. And here's the thing. Woody Allen molested his stepdaughter, the younger one, and married his other stepdaughter. And everybody, because they loved his movies so much, forgave it. Louis C.K. would ask somebody, will you watch me jerk off? He asked permission. They said yes. He jerks off, and that they end his career for. That's how That's how fucked up this world has become.
Yeah,
Barney, Chris Rock stuff in the '90s, Bigger and Blacker. Some of those are they're some of the best stand-ups of all time. There's no doubt. I'm not a fan of his newer stuff because I feel like he's not as
he's lost his edge.
He's lost his edge.
I think he's lost his edge.
I feel that he's gotten too whiny. I'll say it that way. He's gotten whiny.
He's gotten soft.
And not that I'm a bad motherfucker. Like I don't even his rebuttal with I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched the final 10 minutes to see his Will Smith thing, and I didn't think it was funny. I thought it was just a guy
Carlin
bitching
at the end of his career. That's what it was. You know, it wasn't funny. They were monologues.
In the 90s, man, we had a get together. We had like 15 people in a room watching Chris Rock's release of Bigger and Blacker. We had a party for it, and like you could hear a pin drop.
I'm not saying he should have killed her, but I understand.
Yeah, like I won't push her down the stair. I won't choke a bitch, but I'll push her down. I'm not saying I did it, but I understand.
It was so good. But like that's like the whole thing is you this is where like I appreciate the Tom Seguras of the world, right? Because Tom, so like
So
there's
good.
this I was talking about this when you left, Nick, and I don't know if you heard this, but like I can no longer
No, I
watch
heard
like a
the
Kevin
pee
Hart
hitting the
stand up,
toilet.
you know?
You what?
Because Kevin Hart, I can't watch like a Kevin Hart stand up anymore.
Not a fan at all.
Because his
I
first
don't
because
like
his
it.
first specials I thought were funny because they were relatable. Because he was talking about when he was poor and when he was just like, and it was relatable comedy. And then he got money, and then his jokes became about how he has money, and it just didn't come across really good. But you
I
know
agree.
who
I'm not a fan.
does is Tom. Tom Segura is hilarious. Like
Yes.
there's
He's
like
very,
Louis
very
did it
good.
as well. You know what I mean? Where Louis legitimately came out and was like, "No, I'm not like you. I don't fly like you. I fly first class. Like I'm just not like you." Like, but it can't. It's you could still laugh because it was hilarious. Like
Because
he's funny.
they both of them still feel like the every guy.
Yes.
They don't talk down to the crowd. They talk with the crowd. And I feel Kevin Hart's shtick
He talks
is,
down to the crowd.
my life is so good. My life is so great. I got all this. I got
And
rich people
here's
problems.
this funny thing that
I
happened
don't
to
like
me.
it.
Like one of my favorite bits of all time from Louis C.K. is the bit where he imagines
Twisted, right? He got
where
his
he
break in,
imagines that whole thing where he's sitting at the bench at his new apartment and his neighbor approaches him and they have this back and forth and they go and it's all made up in his head and you only find that out at the end. Like that bit is so good because like I can't relate owning an apartment with a doorman in New York and all of those things, blah 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 blah, and having all that money and having a court. But like that was hilarious. I've seen Joe Coy live. I was at his first show post pandemic. He did it here in Orlando. Me and my wife went. He's incredible.
real quick, I got a question for Johnny. Do you check your fucking email? Because it's been a while. That's it. One of the greatest underrated movies of all time, which could be labeled a stoner movie, Pootie Tang.
I don't know that one.
Jeremy, you ever see Pootie Tang?
No.
Anyone see Pootie Tang?
I never saw it.
I never saw it.
I never saw it.
Pootie Tang is one of those over the top. That was a Chris Rock production.
Was it in the center of the screen?
It was on the center. Have you ever seen Blues Brothers, Tigo?
I have not.
Aren't
I know of Blues Brothers. I know all of the songs in Blues Brothers, and that's because I played everything when I was in jazz band in middle school. I played the trombone. My trombone is on the other side of this wall.
Hold on, I gotta say this. Knobcraft, I had no doubt in my mind that you would be one of the people in the chat that know of Pootie Tang. Sadate, habate, warata. The father takes the belt off and can take his belt out of the loops, whip the kid in the face, and then put the belt back on completely. It's so good.
I've seen that bit. I've
so
seen
good.
that bit on Instagram, like on the reels and stuff. I've seen that.
I want to bring in Johnny. What's up, Johnny?
He looks like a mugshot.
You know what happened? He needed to go get a Jets hat. He's got like 9 of them.
Yeah, I had it on, and what happened was I was so into reading what everybody was talking about. Didn't even see my email, man. It was funny. Hey, but John Leguizamo, dude, that was my dude in the stand-up Freak.
Your last name is Jimenez. We know you like John Leguizamo. You didn't have to tell us, bro. We know.
Dude, but growing up out in Long Island near Queens, because of the stories that he tells.
That one-man show he did years ago was fantastic.
Yeah, man, dude, he's funny, man. And Joy Coy, his new stuff up because living out here in Virginia, there's so many Filipinos out here, so it starts to make so much sense. Pretty dope too. But Eddie Murphy's my guy. He's always been my dude. He's delirious.
Lillian, the bitch is falling down the steps again.
My favorite role that John Leguizamo ever had, though, was in The Longest Yard. I don't know. I just thought that was fucking hysterical. I thought he played it.
Oh,
it to perfection.
so
man.
good.
He killed that.
Oh man,
It is. Oh, I'm mentioning a movie that you know, Tigo. Ooh,
Yeah.
that's breaking news here on the channel.
Hey, Tigo, you have to watch this movie called They Call Me Bruce.
Oh, here we go. Hold up. Hold up. Guys, hold on. Barney has a great comment. If laughs could protect Zach Wilson, this would be the O-line. Richard Pryor, Steve Martin, Louis C.K., George Carlin, Patrice O'Neal.
Wow.
You can't have Patrice
Patrice,
on the
even if
tackle,
he-
though.
Patrice
Patrice
wasn't
isn't a
funny.
tackle. Patrice is hilarious,
was-
but he's not a tackle funny. Like, you
He's
have
like-
to bookends are Pryor, Carlin. That's your tackles. Those are your tackles.
Yeah.
Those are your
I want
Those are
Chappelle
your
as my
tackles.
pulling guard. I want
Yeah.
Chappelle as my pulling guard.
No.
My center.
You go Pryor, Carlin, right? Louis up the middle because that's Mangold. Louis is the center. That's right there. He's locking down the center
All right,
easily.
Chappelle's a guard, and then who's the other guard?
I don't have Chappelle as a guard.
Hey, Johnny.
Chappelle's the backup.
Eddie
Chappelle's
Murphy.
the sixth
I'll go
man.
Murphy. I'll put Eddie Murphy and Dave Chappelle at guards. I got Pryor and Carlin on the outside, and I'm going Tom Segura over Louis at center. Those are that's my line.
Hey, what about Bill
I'm a
Murr?
huge- Bill Burr's the kicker because he hates the Jets. He's from Boston. Fuck him.
I go. No.
He's
If you're
great,
going,
though.
you got to go. It's Carlin, Pryor, Louis as the center. May he rest in peace. But I loved his stand-up specials. Robin Williams as my pulling guard.
Oh, the best.
Why didn't you say rest in
Um,
peace to George Carlin? You fuck.
Yeah, rest in peace to George Carlin too.
Yeah. Why
Well,
does
because
Robin
he
Williams?
died when
get-
I was 8. Like he didn't affect my life. I only watched his stuff after he passed away.
You were
I
only
grew-
8 when George
No,
Carlin
I
died?
was in my teens. He died in 2008, right? 2007, 2008.
I don't remember.
It was something along those lines.
I-
Again, I was in middle school, right? So it wasn't like I found out who George Carlin was like when I left the house and I started really getting into comedy. But like again, like I grew up with Robin Williams and all of that stuff. I've seen everything almost everything he's ever made.
You have a lighter version of your stuff. Soon you have stuff all over the place. You can stuff
Oh,
over
Buddy
here.
Hackett was good.
Hey, what
Oh
about
man, who's the
Wow.
other guard?
you, bro?
Who's the other guard? God, yeah, probably Chappelle's the other guard. Yeah, you're probably right. Probably right. I think that's my own line.
Buddy Hackett. He was something.
If I'm bringing in,
Carlin
I'm going to throw
Pryor,
in a name.
yeah, William Chappelle, and then the center is Louis.
Louis, man. I was in Madison Square Garden with my wife before we moved to California. We saw Louis live, and he said, I could bring down an airplane with one word, speaking one word. And it was like, he was just like, and he like acted it out. He was like, land! It was like freaking out.
Yeah.
And it was so freaking funny. We were dying.
So good.
We were dying. I mean, my face
Oh.
hurt when I left because it was agonizingly painful. But he wasn't saying land, he was saying down. He was like,
Yep.
down.
Oh,
Chappelle's.
that's one I
Chappelle's
haven't
a
seen
fucking
live that I
guy.
really want to see live.
I'll put if we're not doing the line, if we're doing different positions, I'll put Chappelle at quarterback.
don't know
Actually,
if I
I'm
can
gonna
trust
put
Chappelle
George
to run
Carlin
a-
at quarterback because Carlin was
Yeah.
the greatest thinker of all time. I'll put Carlin at quarterback. I'm gonna put Chappelle in the backfield,
Nah, I'm putting Dangerfield.
and
at
then my line.
quarterback.
I'm gonna put Bert Kreischer up on my line.
Bert can go on the line. I'm putting Dangerfield.
You know who my
as the
long snapper
quarterback.
is? Here's my special teams because I know how much you love Thomas Hennessy. My long snapper is Jim Gaffigan. My holder
it.
is Bill Burr, and my kicker is Sebastian Maniscalco. That's a good special team.
That's a great special teams because Bill Burr would punt, right? Because that's the holder is the
Yep.
punter. No, switch Burr and Sebastian.
Ah!
Nope.
Well, he died.
Maniscalco you got that. That's
Ralphie
in your
May is the
DNA.
nose
You
tackle.
deserve to be a kicker.
Knob with the fire.
Ralphie May. All right. How about all right? We're
Nose
running. How about Ralphie May, Patrice O'Neal?
tackle. Yep. Those are your DTs. Who's your edge? Who's getting after the passer?
What about Fluffy?
Fluffy. Oh, Fluffy.
Oh.
Fluffy. Ooh. How about hey, there you go. Fluffy Patrice as my DNs and May as my D tackle.
No, you gotta put him as a nose tackle.
My middle
He's
linebacker.
a nose tackle. You got to
want-
move Patrice to the O line. Patrice goes to the
All right.
O line.
All
You
right.
move Chappelle out of the O
I'm
line.
just thinking of the big
Patrice
boys.
goes to the guard. You know, Chappelle's your running back.
Who's the coach? Ron
Carlin.
White.
Carlin. If
No, I want Carlin
if you're making a
quarterback.
coach, no. If you
All right,
have
all
to
right,
name one of them
Carlin's
coach, Carlin's
Chappelle's
the
quarterback.
coach.
I want
I
Robin
still like
Williams as my
Dangerfield
running
as the
back.
coach.
I want Robin Williams as my running back because nobody had more energy than he did.
Yeah.
I'll put as my slot receiver Billy
Mike
Crystal.
Epps. Mike Epps. That dude's funny, bro.
Mike, I think I might keep. You know what? I want my special teams punt kick returner, Cat Williams.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Right. I want my middle linebackers. I want Ron White and Anthony Jeselnik as my middle linebackers because they hit hard. Well, the joke, the punchlines hit hard.
So good, dude. That's so good. No, that's a great one. Oh man, I know we're not talking baseball, but like if you had to
got a good
pick
one. Rosie O'Donnell at the end.
there it is. Yep. I feel like we messed up. Mitch Hedberg needs to be on specials.
Mitch
Hedberg
Hedberg's
needs to
the
be
one
on
with the
specials.
retired jersey. Mitch Hedberg's the one with the retired jersey. He's our Don Maynard.
Oh man.
Oh,
You're
that's a
putting
fun
Eddie
one.
Murphy in the slot.
Easy.
Easy. That's not even a question.
That's easy. Yep.
Then who's your other receivers?
Mike Epps.
All right, you put Epps out there.
Bro, I
Yeah,
love
Barney's right. Barney's got.
Bernie Mac is
Jezelnik.
the defensive coordinator.
Ooh, Bernie
Oh,
Mac.
Bernie
Yeah,
Mac.
yeah.
He's your DC. Dude, can you imagine? Oh, that's good.
Hey, my wife talks sleep.
I don't like this comedian at all, but I can't resist a joke. I gotta have Amy Schumer on the line. That bitch is big.
Aziz Ansari is my free safety.
Ooh.
Bill Cosby as the Sam linebacker.
I want Jim Norton as my nickelback.
No, Seinfeld. Seinfeld's the middle linebacker, right next to Jeselnik.
Oh,
Doesn't hit
Seinfeld's
hard.
the owner. Seinfeld's the owner.
The owner. That's it. Oh, that's it. That wins.
It's a pretty good.
Man, that's a good one. Seinfeld is
I
the
want
owner.
I want my outside
Ray Romano's your
linebackers.
offensive coordinator.
I want my outside linebackers to contradict one another. So I want someone who's dry and I want someone who's like loud and aggressive. I want Gilbert Gottfried and Norm Macdonald as my outside linebackers.
Yep.
They're offensive, but they do it in two different ways. My phone. And I want the opposition's quarterback so we can constantly hit him to be Dennis Miller. Not a fan.
Oh man.
The fan sitting in the stands with the bag over his head because he's such a crybaby is Patton Oswalt.
Yep. Tim Allen is your special teams coordinator.
I figured Tim Allen would be one of us, the guy doing the podcast, talking all the shit, not affiliated with the team because he's like outcast with all his beliefs. What happened to Chaos? He okay? Yeah, probably the dogs or something. Yeah, Seinfeld is definitely. Oh, Bill
Yeah,
Cosby.
that's the point. That's why I put him
Bill-
at linebacker.
Bill Cosby is Henry Ruggs. He's in jail.
No. Ruggs killed a bitch though.
And the dog.
Yeah.
Tracy Morgan.
Tracy Morgan is Dennis Bird. He had that health scare, and he probably can't play. He had the Walmart the truck accident. Oh, this is fun. This is why I love the Friday Night Hangout. You never know what the hell we're going to talk about.
Oh, you know who? We didn't even mention Martin Lawrence. His first stuff when he was coming out, that dude was.
I want Martin as a running back. Martin's got high energy too. Robin Williams with Martin Lawrence as the backup.
That's a great backfield.
That's a great backfield for right?
Patrice O'Neal as the fullback. Say I'm wrong. Now remember the truck or whatever, the bus.
Nope. I got
for
a
the
better one.
Steelers?
I got a better one. Larry the Cable Guy is the fullback.
Well, that's a perfect.
No, Larry the Cable Guy is up in the stands with Jeff Foxworthy, drunk as shit. They're season
Foxworthy's the
ticket
GM.
holders.
Foxworthy's the GM.
Foxworthy's the GM. No, but then Larry has to be the assistant GM. They're hand in hand.
Oh, wait it. Barney, this one's easy. Tim Allen is Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Tim Allen with his beliefs is the Aaron Rodgers. He's right on line with that. Bill Cosby is Bill Belichick. He's got the same name, right?
Backup punter. Oh.
Can Whoopi be the cheerleader on your team?
Yeah. Whoopi, no Whoopi here.
Ellen DeGeneres sells hot dogs.
No, because she'd be yelling at the customers and being really mean and aggressive to them.
Stephen Wright is the fan in the stands with the bag over their head.
I thought it was Patton.
Oh, that's right. Damn it. I thought I made that joke. Maybe they're sitting next to each other. They're rooting for different teams.
They went their season ticket holders together.
Yeah. They're like the fans in the stands in Major League. Have you seen Major League Baseball movie?
That's an amazing
Oh
movie.
my God. Ego.
Wait. Give me a sec. Yes. Okay, yes. I had to look it up. That's the That's with Tiger Blood at pitcher.
I must drink.
I'll tell you this. Dane Cook is Christian Hackenberg because I think Dane Cook is awful. Carlos Mencia is Bill Belichick because he steals everyone's jokes. There we go.
Mencia. That's a good one.
You ever seen Naked Gun, Tigo?
Yes.
Naked Gun 33 1/3. OJ Simpson. Pre-slaying.
Pre-slaying. That's funny.
I don't know, dude. Those movies in the
you gotta get up.
80s.
Hold up real quick. Are you going to the game? Is your flight out to Vegas?
Yeah, he's going to Vegas.
Awesome, bro. Enjoy, man. Safe travels. Be safe out there. Have a good time, man.
My wife, all day today, she was like, "Oh, I bet you wish you were in Vegas." I was like, no, of course not.
I'm happy being here with you, my love.
Yeah, I'm so happy.
So
She just said no out of reflex to you.
No, she says, dude, we're looking at minivans and crap now too. Pretty cool though, man. Dude, them minivans now are
Dude, they're so sick. But I'm telling you, don't do it. Get a SUV. They're better.
Oh, it's happening, bro.
Get a SUV, dude. Because you can get a SUV with 3 rows.
I have that right now, and it's
But get the bigger ones. You got the mid-sized. You got a mid-sized SUV. I can guarantee you. Because that's what me and my wife had. We had a mid-sized SUV. That's what we have now. but she's upgrading from that to a bigger one, the 3 rows and like the captain seats in the back so that you can turn the kids to face each other eventually. And there's a little table in there.
What is that? What's the brand?
Which one is that? That one's
There's a
pretty
bunch
cool.
of them, dude. Ford makes one,
Do you
but she didn't
know-
like that one. She wants to get the Subaru one. We're Subi gang for life. I got a WRX. I love my Subaru
Yeah.
WRX. She has a Forester. She really likes her Forester, but they make one that's bigger than the Forester. If you give me like 6 seconds, I'll tell you what it is.
The Ascend.
I think it's
While
the
you're
Ascent.
looking it up, I'm going to
Yeah.
give you another one. The loud fan, the Fireman Ed, is Sam Kinison.
Yes, that's a good one. It's a good one.
I'm
That's
thinking
actually a
more.
really good one. Yeah, it's the Ascent. So we're giving that one back, and we're going with the 7 passenger Ascent, because it has the seats in the back, right, the 3rd row, and then she wants the captain's chairs.
That's what
Because-
I have now. I love it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Objectively
Johnny,
speaking,
why don't
they're
you
the
go
same
like
size.
vacuum the living room, Johnny, and give Wifey the phone? We'll talk to her for a bit. She's got some good opinions here. We like to get on air.
Dude, she's alive right now. That's her half awake. Like, and she'll be asleep in like 5 seconds, dudes.
And just like chime in with conversation out of nowhere.
Yes, like literally,
I thought
bro.
I was on mute, to be honest with you.
I will say this though: if you do go minivan, the Odyssey is one
That's
of the
what we're-
coolest.
that's-
Dude,
that's-
it's one of the coolest cars I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, we love it. I know. This hey, I'm
It's-
sorry, Nick. This show just turned into baby talk.
Dude, the Odyssey is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I can't with a minivan. I just can't. I just can't. Neither can
dude.
my wife. But the Odyssey is so cool.
Sticker from Amazon that said, I never will own a never will I have a minivan or something. And then it says me 3 kids ago. So
Well,
that's my back window.
that also, like, the number of kids dictates it. I'm getting snipped next year. Like, the appointment's already made. We're done at 2. So, like, if you want more, that's a different conversation.
Yeah,
we
that's
only
what-
want 2.
Because
So,
we
like,
have 2 right now. We're about to have another one.
you need the 3rd seat.
Yeah, so that's why we're going with the minivan. But we're going with the Odyssey, dude. It's dope.
So
I
good.
have the Highlander and I love that car. But when we have the 3rd row up, because I have the captain's chairs, I
Yeah.
have the platinum, so it's got all the stuff. But when the 3rd row's up, the stroller, you can barely shut the
You don't have trunk space.
Oh
back.
shit, Barney's funny, man. He had a Fiat Passat wagon.
He's on fire tonight.
Barney is on one.
So if we have this team of comedians,
Who's the Zach Wilson of the team? Cook.
Mulaney. It's Mulaney.
Dane Cook.
No, it's
Kevin Hart.
Mulaney.
Kevin Hart, because I just don't get it.
No, because Kevin Hart found success for no reason.
Yeah, but for me, it's Kevin Hart because I don't get it. I don't get. But
I think it's
have-
Mulaney because like you believed in the what Mulaney could be, and then he got sober, and then he's kind of not funny anymore.
Well, here's a very good question. I have the perfect commissioner. Who would be the perfect commissioner?
Pryor.
We have all these comedians. No, nobody we've mentioned so far. We have all of these guys that we mentioned.
Why don't you just tell us who you have in mind? There's like thousands of comedians that we could talk about.
Rodney Dangerfield,
I brought
just
up
like
Dangerfield.
Just like Goodell, he gets no respect.
I brought up Dangerfield. I tried to
didn't
put him
hear
at
him.
quarterback.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Yeah,
Honestly,
you
didn't.
ignored me.
I didn't
I
ignore
brought
it.
up
I didn't hear it.
Dangerfield. I said Dangerfield's the quarterback.
The Miami Dolphin quarterback, Eddie Izzard, crossdresser. Remember Eddie Izzard? A very underrated comedian. He wore like clogs, like 6-inch clogs. Very underrated comedian.
Jay Leno's the commissioner.
Oh
No, I don't want to hear his voice. It's
Exactly.
Rodney.
I don't ever want to hear Goodell.
What's the Goodell's voice? Hey,
Jay
Tico,
Leno owns the Cowboys.
Yep.
Annoying
That's
guy
it.
that you
Yep.
don't
Yeah,
want to
he's
hear
Jerry.
from.
He's Jerry. He's Jerry. I love it.
Hey, you ever seen Weekend at Bernie's?
Nope.
Oh my god, bro. It's another one, dog.
Yeah, I think Leno's commissioner.
Do you like insult comics? Oh shit! I think I'm gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, I was about to say I gotta hop off.
That's what she said.
I was up early for therapy, and not to you, not to you, Big Papa. Another baby on the way.
Laughing. She's laughing.
Stop. Don't touch me.
She had all these she had all these ideas about cars, but she didn't have the idea for you to wrap it up.
Well, I had too much wine.
Oh, blame it on the one. Hey, for me, for the movies, it would have to go. I love like spy type of dramas. The Americans. Nobody ever talks about that show. That show was amazing, right? It was two people that were from Russia, right? That were spies and made their whole entire life as Americans, and they got deep into the to the U.S. government.
Yeah.
I love Oz. Oz was one of my, amazing show. The Wire, huge. Sopranos, big Soprano, and then dude, I have to say it, man, but Band of Brothers, man, was one of, because there was just so many people.
Both.
It was just so good, dude. So good.
I was lucky enough to meet one of the real, before obviously he passed away. I was lucky enough to meet one of the real soldiers from the Band of Brothers.
Yeah.
Like at a speaking engagement. It was a very, 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 very cool thing.
Yeah.
Oh wow. That's
when
dope.
I was on my way to the Navy, I got really close with a SEAL, and he told me about the speaking engagement when I was in high school, because like I was getting ready to go into the Navy, and he was like, "Do you want to go?" And I was like, "What kind of dumbass question is that?" Like, yeah, and I think my dad wants to go too. He's like, "I just told you. How do you know?" He was like, "Because he's my dad. I know who my dad is." So me and my dad, we went and we were able to meet him. It was really, really cool.
That's dope, man.
Here's a good question from Barney.
Yeah,
If the Jets
Veterans
last
Day.
season was a TV show, what was it?
The TV
I'll go with
show
this
that
season.
started off great and ended off horribly.
Well,
No,
I'm
it started
gonna
off shaky, got real good, and then ended horribly.
I'm gonna go with this season. This season is Lost, because you're on the flight, you think everything's going well, and then 5 minutes into the show, boom, plane crash. That's Aaron Rodgers going down. And then afterwards, as the seasons went on, it kind of got weird. Like, what the fuck is going on? That's where we're at now. I would say the 2023 Jets season could be labeled as Lost.
I will have to go with this season's Mayans. At the whole thing, that show pissed me off at the end.
I didn't
Man.
watch mine. That was the biker gang.
Yeah,
off of
I didn't want to
Anarchy,
risk
right?
it. Yeah, I didn't want to risk it because Sons was so
I'm not big
good.
on spinoffs. I'm not big on spinoffs.
It was really, really good though, man. It's just the finale was just like the Suns. That's
Or
the
just
only reason.
ended because they were tired of making it.
Yeah, I was just so upset about that part, but it was really, really good, man. So you guys, because it ties into Suns.
The
So
worst
a lot
part of Sons for me was that Peggy Bundy was cheating on Al the whole time.
Well, with the
Ego doesn't even know.
name Peggy.
Well, that was Married with
Gemma.
Children.
Yeah.
I got it. I got it.
All right. Well, Tigo, I don't know what you get, man. I don't know what you get after. I don't know.
I have been forced, not out of because I wanted to watch it. I have been forced to watch every
Your dad?
episode of Married
Your
with
dad?
Children because my dad and my wife.
Hell yeah.
It is one
You
of the
said
first
Family Guy
things.
for your dad. I was like, if your dad likes Family Guy, your dad's definitely watching
My
Married
dad
with Children.
loves Married with Children, and so does my wife. And when I was dating her, and they found out my dad was, she's the one. Marry that one.
Nice.
and I was 18 at the time.
I believe Al Bundy still holds the record for Polk High School for most touchdowns ever thrown. If
Oh,
I'm not
5
mistaken.
touchdowns, city championship against Ed Too
Yep.
Tall Jones.
That's right.
I have a question for you, Barney. What streaming service or network is this show on? Because I've heard I'd love it, but I don't know where to find it, and I always forget to look it up. Whoa, Barney. Modern Family over Married with Children. Barney, give me your age.
On Hulu and on Prime Video.
I need to know your age for this.
Those are those Manhattan dudes. That's why. Because he lives up in Manhattan, bro.
I lived in Manhattan. Look, Modern Family
Jigga,
got away
what's
with a
up,
lot
Porto?
of stuff. Porto, Jigga.
Porto.
AMC.
Jigga, dude, you DM me. I still haven't sent you my number, have I? I'm such a bad person. I'm so tired. It's not my fault. I blame my kids.
That's great. Barney, how old are you? Because before I judge your Modern Family over Married with Children, I need to know your age.
I'd agree with that, though.
I'm 45. I'm saying you're younger than me. I bet I'm 45, Barney. I just want to know if you lived through the Married with Children years, or if you caught
Third
up
Rock
with it
from
later.
the Sun.
Oh, Third Rock from the Sun's a good one.
I love Third Rock. It's a sneak peek. It's on my list for next week.
I'm over 50. All right. Well, I'll say this about Ed O'Neill, the actor. I think Ed O'Neill has the distinction of playing the greatest television father in Al Bundy and the greatest television grandfather of all time on Modern Family.
Hey, you know how cool Ed O'Neill is? He was at the airport. This blonde girl came up to him, wanted to take a picture with him. He took it, had no idea who she was. They put it and blasted it all over like TMZ. It ended up being Britney Spears. He had no idea who it was. And
Yeah,
it was awesome.
I remember hearing that.
So much respect for him after that. I was like, dude, you're awesome.
Yeah.
All right, boys. I actually do have to go. Good night.
Yeah. I'm winding down myself. Be good, buddy. All right, Johnny. Thank you for joining. Thank you, everybody in the chat. That was fun. You got anything you want to say in closing? You want to give your thoughts on the game briefly?
Yeah. Greg the Leg gives us 7 field goals, and that's how we score 21 points. Go Jets.
All right. I
Good night,
think
brother.
we're going to be good, man. Thanks for joining. Good night, Mrs. Johnny. I think our defense does what our defense does. I think they're going to feast on a rookie quarterback. I think they're going to go nuts. Their best offensive tackle, Colton Miller, is out, and I referenced it earlier for those that weren't here. It's going to be what we saw in the Carolina preseason game with Huff and JJ just racing to the quarterback time and time again. If they try to throw, may God be with this kid. I think we're going to do some things on offense. I think we'll do enough. I think it's going to be like 16-6. I don't even know if they're going to get 6. Just control Jacobs and then let the defense do its thing. Jump the routes. He's going to get rid of the ball quick. Make sure Quincy is up to guard the running backs out of the flat, and dominate. Just we got to get a win. We got to win 2 of the next 3. Barney's asking who's playing right tackle. To be determined, I think. I haven't seen anything yet. I know Brown is out and Turner's out, which would mean probably Mitchell, and then you might see either Newman. Probably see Newman at guard. You have balls. I'll give you that. Yeah, I think our defense sets us up for a field goal or 2. Our special teams, we get a return. We get a couple field goals, and we get 1 touchdown. I think that'll be enough. I'd like this to get the lead first. I'd like us to get up on top and let this defense feast with a lead. We haven't really seen that. So I think you're good. If I'm Ulbrich and Salah, I throw everything at this rookie. I throw some crazy shit that maybe you haven't pulled out in a few years, stuff that you don't have on film, and just confuse the hell out of him, force him into either stupid interceptions because he's not reading it the right way, or sack fumbles. I would love a sack fumble, scoop and go, man. I would love it. So, all right, everyone, enjoy the weekend. Stay safe. Thanks for hanging out with us. Sorry, I'm tired today. Usually we stay on longer, but you know the deal. As always, be loud, be proud. New York Jets fans, go Jets.
This is producer JR, and you are watching the proud New York Jets fan show. Now give it up for my boy Nick.
Rodgers is a fucking Jet. Let's go!
This for my special delivery. Spit like this, get my wrists all glittery.
Can't wait.
Get cake, snakes get slithery. Lean in, show y'all the mean and the chivalry.
Let's make sure we
Rap
play like the
Buddha.
New York Jets.
Right jab like Zab Judah. Every member on my team is a shooter. Tight like a womb, no room for intruders. Spark, twist to the
now,
Philly.
give it up
Good
for
humor.
Big
Don't
Shot.
be silly. It's gravy, baby. I got it all smothered.
Let's go
Like
to eat a
makeup.
damn snack.